On time, I guess. Not really. Hopefully you're doing well. It is Thursday, February the 27th. It is currently 8:54. I got through the door at 8:44. So we know it takes 10 minutes to set this up and do it, which is pretty great. Because we're wildly behind schedule. We're not that far behind schedule at all. Hopefully everyone's doing well. We got a stream today. We're going to be doing something that's a bit more focused. It's going to be actually kind of educational. We're going to take a target or like a topic and kind of just run at it, which should be kind of fun. Hopefully we do something a bit more focused, which is pretty good. Hopefully you're doing well. If you're watching this live, what's up? Yo, Mark Andre. Hey, Andre. Yo, happy belated birthday. Did you have a good one? I think that's the end of the music. Elias, what's up? Hope you're doing good. I'm almost done with my welding certification. Been looking forward to stream. Hell yeah. I don't know if I've asked this before. What kind of welding have you done? I've actually done just like the smallest bit of welding. I spent a summer when I was in university at a steel factory, mostly running machines and listening to audiobooks until they told me I couldn't have headphones because of safety. They're probably correct. Yo, Syncopate, what's up? Welcome. Everyone's doing okay. So I just walked through the door, so I'm a bit like, I need to come down a bit, which would be nice. Normally there's some calming evening before this, but we went straight from work to here. We got a deck list of the week with a GIF. But most importantly, this is an Apocalypse max deck. It has no recursion, I don't think. We're just going to open this up in Chrome because that works better. So, Apocalypse decks, they've always been a thing. They've been a thing for a long time. This one's been around, or this card is I just find it buck wild that this card isn't 5 influence. It's 3 influence. It's like not that hard to put 9 in your deck. Max gets a free card draw, and this is like so bare bones down to the basics of what we want here. There's some new cards, but the basic idea is that we have all of our breakers, which we'll hopefully get into the bin with our max ability. And on top of that, we got Stargate, which is a really cool card in Apocalypse. Once you've wiped the whole board, it's nice to get one of these down so you can go ahead and start taking that ice off the top of the deck so it can never ice up, let alone agendas. We got Money with Liberated and Accounts and DDoS, one of the best cards against an Apocalypse. Then we have a bunch of other cards. We have Deuces Wild, which is a strange card. Exposed can be somewhat useful sometimes. It also lets you clicklessly remove a tag on some of the turns that you make a run, which can be actually pretty useful when you have to run 3 times in a turn and then play an event. That can be hard. Exposed is also kind of cool, so you know where the ice is. Ice placement is so important against an Apocalypse deck. It really is the most important. Getting your border controls too deep is kind of a really, really big deal on central servers. Hacktivist is just a fine card against assets because we don't have the ability to trash assets. We're already pretty good against assets. I don't know if this is necessary. And then I've had Worse Sure Gamble, Wanton Destruction for a bit more pressure on HQ. Cards like this are also pretty good because sometimes when you run HQ for the Apocalypse, you don't actually want to access. You can spend no clicks with this because if you hit a snare or if you run Archives, I guess you can always run a Breach Dome in Archives. You can lose your Apocalypse and that's an issue. Now lastly, we have Gachapon, a card I wanted to try in Apocalypse deck for a while now just because it lets you tutor your DDoS, let alone your breakers. But DDoS for 1 credit is pretty good, especially when it comes out of nowhere. And on top of that, we have Buffer Drive. And this is our recursion. It's kind of clumsy with Max because you have to spend a click to draw. Otherwise, it's going to be milled off the top of your deck. But this lets you play your Apocalypses again. It lets you play get your keyholes back. You can do some cool stuff with this. Yo, Janktivist, what's up? Welcome. The DJ in me says the music fade out. Could use some work. Ooh. I pressed that button enough times. TIG, MIG, dual shield, arc brazing, oxyfuel cutting, and a lot of aluminum TIG. You made that sound way more like science fiction than it probably is, but hell yeah. I know there's a lot of opportunities opened up if you get a welding certificate. I know I've heard of like some really cool stories of people doing like underwater welding or welding at interesting places. There's a lot opens. Yo, Carl, what's up? Carl Carlson. Hey, Andre, how you doing? Welcome. How's it been? And Tobal, how you doing as well? That's largely it against this deck. Damage is an issue because we could lose our Apocalypses and we have no way to clicklessly draw them. There's a cool thing I guess you could do. You could Buffer Drive to put a card on top of your deck, and then you could use that. You could shuffle with Gachapon if you don't want to install it. That's kind of cool. It lets you basically clicklessly get a DDoS back on the table. That actually can be pretty rad. But also Buffer Drive is just kind of a cool card with Max. It just means that she'll get through her deck a bit slower because at the beginning of your turn you trash 2 cards. You can put one of them at the bottom of your deck. I don't know how effective that is, but it just gives you a bit of a longer life, say, so you don't like burn out too quickly. But I don't know. That's kind of the fun of Max, isn't it? Yeah, it's so great when a deck runs only 3-ofs and the list is this short. This is not the shortest deck list. I guess you could play a 40 card ID, but this is almost the shortest deck list you can ever see, which is pretty wild. What was it called? Watslavs. This came 9th at DomeCon. We've been playing a couple DomeCon decks lately. I assume that was a big tournament in Europe. Sorry, I don't know. What? Max 200208. Okay, I think it's just the date, right? Max was one of my the IDs I liked the most when it came out. Oh man, I was like getting into competitive Netrunner right at the point where Max came out, and it was just the most fun. I'm in Washington, and I'm about 8 months. I'm moving to Melbourne, Australia. A lot of work and opportunities, plus a bunch of friends there. There you go. Buffer drive protects you against max ability and damage. Yeah, how's it going, Invader? Exactly. It's really cool. There's like so many cool combos with buffer drive. It's a bit expensive to install, but there's so many cool combos with it for sure. Specifically, like I want to play this with David in my meta was doing this with Patchwork in Cabanessa and putting like chameleons on the bottom of the deck, and then you can pull them out for a credit and click. There's some really cool stuff you can do. I think buffer drive is super flexible. We're running. Peter, call it Tabby Smash. Hey, Kakoste, dobry wieczór. How you doing? It's pretty late, huh? Just because we set the stream up so quickly, I'm worried that I'm forgetting something, but I think we're all good. Audio seems okay. I'm just going to mute this. Sometimes this comes through. So, in short, after we play the deck list of the week, I want to basically spend this evening, and hopefully, I don't know, I know some people don't like it, but I've seen a lot on Jinteki.net, and I've heard a lot of conversations. Yo, Aaron, what up? Specifically about controlling the message, which Aaron actually probably is playing. And I want to spend some time talking about it because I think it's kind of absurd right now. It's very prevalent, and it might be the deck to beat. And I've had so many questions. Oh, cool, Sportsmetal. Aaron has a published list for Sportsmetal. We could check it if we wanted. But recently, we've got so many questions about what to do against controlling the message in our meta. We've had like on our message board, we've been talking about it a fair bit. This opening hand has 2 breakers, but we have a lot of breakers. We'd rather trash them off the top of our stack. I don't think we can do better than this. Oh, we did a lot worse than this. But if this is probably the Rela Salvatore deck, so Hacktivist Meeting actually does some work. I think our hand got worse though. But yeah, playing against that is actually very difficult, and it's one of the decks that capitalizes on mistakes so much. It's also a very tough matchup, so tech cards, stuff like that really matters. We have a game night kit actually here in Montreal on Saturday, starting at noon. So I'm expecting a whole bunch of it, so I kind of want to talk about it a wee bit. All right, so I don't know what this ice could be. We could always spend a click to check. More likely to be a Rashida than anything else. We lost a buffer drive and we have a paperclip. Unfortunately, our hand has no money whatsoever. Stargate is like really awkward here. While R&D is open, it's unfortunate that we don't have access to any sort of economy. Now, Gachapon actually doesn't get economy whatsoever. It only will get I think the only target are DDoS and programs. I don't think we have any other virtuals, so that's kind of an issue. I think we might just want to install this and play Hacktivist. Hoping it's not an agenda. There's a chance it's just a 3-1. Like, Sportsmetals love small agendas. Setting this up is not very good. We actually might have wanted to just draw there because we need our money. Super late, 3 a.m. Couldn't sleep, so cut stream. Hope you're well. You look a bit exhausted. I've been getting that feedback a lot. Yeah, it's a Rashida, so they mailed the card. People have been like, yo, you look really tired. Which is, I don't know. It's true, probably. It's not nice feedback. Speaking of feedback, yeah, have you ever been in this situation? So I recently got my hair cut, and the guy who was cutting my hair, it was like mostly through the haircut, and he said, hey, I just want to apologize. You look great. Thanks, Shazner. They said, I want to apologize. I forgot to put deodorant on this morning, so if you smell anything, my bad. I'm sorry. Which is like, I don't know. I thought it was the most entertaining thing because I don't know how to answer that question. Like, do you say like, I guess you just say, no, it's not a problem. There's no good thing to say. I think we can face check to force him to res. The worst case here is that this is a gatekeeper, which is actually kind of likely. Don't know if you heard, but you look might be mildly sleep deprived. David, what's up? How's it going? Yeah, I don't know what you do. Do you say like, yeah, you do? Obviously, it's not an issue. Like, I don't give a shit. So I don't know. It's really funny. We have no money. We have gambles. I don't know if we have laundries. We have gambles. We have liberated. We actually don't have that much money in the deck. We should just be setting up for the apocalypse if we can. Breakers, unfortunately, aren't going to do it. We also haven't found an apocalypse just yet. So there's a chance that this will get another card. If we run R&D, they could draw a card or set something up. And this might be a combo deck where like stealing agendas is kind of really bad for us. And we just don't have enough money to put a buffer drive down. Because if we put a buffer drive down, we can't afford basically anything else. Oh, we do have an apocalypse. What are we talking about? Just say I did not either. I almost had that conversation. Just forgot makeup, that's all. That's a problem when we showed up too early. Oh, they rezzed Ash. That's a defensive upgrade. That milled with Hacktivist, that's cool. You just see, oh, that's gross. It's turned out of the place. So it looks like they're trying to res into something else. Probably Rashida. Sorry, buddy. You smell like shit. Beans. Double advance. Triple advance. Hey, there's the Mega Prees. So now their other Mega Prees are pretty easy to score. We really need to set up the Apocalypse. They now just res the Ash, which I think is a really smart play. And we know what it takes to contest that remote. Okay, so we lost an Apocalypse. They kind of know what's afoot here. Res it now anyway, that makes sense. Okay, so this is better. Now, sometimes you could have just like snap install the daily cast. That would have been bad because then we can't do anything else on our turn. You want to plan your turn out. So we're going to hit one of these, hit one of these. So let's just do a sanity check here. We have all of our breakers. We probably have access to DDoS with Gachapon. We could probably blow them up. Now, they haven't committed a lot to this to blow them up. It's probably not that good, but we can lose pretty quickly with cards like Biotic Labor. Better yet, make a meme. Yo, Parallel, how's it going? Icing up R&D. So against DDoS, you generally want to double ice, and still they have to res it. They don't have a lot of money. Now, contesting this remote, again, with Gatekeeper is a problem. This could be a 4-2 into Jeeves, which would be a bit rough. And the problem is, like, we can't really face check for value. Ooh, assembly lines. Those are really good against... So we know that's not an agenda, because they can't do that. So it has to be... It could be agenda to upgrade. They score it, it's probably fine for us. We just need to set up a wee bit more. We have another daily cast. We only have one DDoS left. I think we're gonna go try and look for it if we can. Oh. That's really rough. I guess we get a paperclip. 3 more cards to shovel back. So what do we want back? I think we want not the I've had worse. The Stargate's good. We have one in hand. The Gamble's good. Liberate. It's good. Gachapon. The problem is we won't find a DDoS now, so we're probably just going to have to break everything. We only have one DDoS left in the deck. We could always put on top of our deck with Buffer Drive. We actually could have considered doing that and then Gachaponing. So anyways, we want the money. We already have one Stargate in hand. That's probably good enough. So we'll just take a bunch of money. And we can threaten the Apocalypse. If they score another one here... Did I miscalculate? Oh yeah, because Gachapon is in a click. Yo, Insanity, what's up? I need some more Netrunner, because the work was crap. We had servers going up and down all day, but we managed to keep those pesky runners out. Hey, welcome. Hopefully they can't keep us out. That's the hope, because we're going to blow up everything. There's the Rella. That's some extra value. They're going to go pretty fast here. Hyperloop extension, not really closing the game out, but with a Rella, that's some pretty good value. It's an install, 2 cards drawn with their Sportsmetal ability, and then an advancement counter top it. Yo, Rob, what's up? I don't know. Ash says they're not going hyper sports mode. Yeah, I don't think it's full combo. But I think we're really pressured to try and blow them up this turn. I think 15 credits might be enough. Fortunately, we're not going to get all the value here. I think we run R&D first. I guess. Because I guess they could draw cards and then we can run HQ. Depends what their hand is. But blowing this up is really good because this goes into the bin. Yeah, we don't have a DDoS, so we're just going to have to pay the old-fashioned way. I assume we're not going to need a Sentry Breaker. If anything, we need a Code Gate Breaker, and we have to get through Gatekeeper, which is actually a fair few credits. This destroys a couple cards, and then we have the Stargate to lock them after, and we'll have the economy for it. Obviously, it's unfortunate we're losing this, but that's the thing here is also if they just spend enough money resing ice, like if this is an Eli or a Hagen or whatever. Yeah, it's a Hagen. So we can always just let this fire and then run the remote. We have to do the Ash Trace. That's actually probably fine. To break this, it's 4 credits. Is it better we just Apocalypse everything? I think with a daily cast, it's probably fine that we just contest the remote now. This just ends the run. They paid 4 credits for that. Why not challenge the remote this turn? I think we will. How would you feel if Stargate shuffled? Bad. It would be I don't know. Mixed. It would be a lot better against things like Daily Business Show. Also, some of the problematic cards that put agendas at the bottom of the deck. But mixed. I wouldn't mind Stargate shuffling. The fact that Stargate doesn't shuffle, though, is huge. All right, so this is a drafter. So they only have 2 credits. So we can break this for basically 5. Otherwise, they can reinstall in advanced assembly lines, which is more money. Yeah, we'll break it. And we can beat the trace. We don't have to trash Ash. We're going to take the agenda first. It's a Vitruvius. That's a good steal. It's going to give them cards or credits, but they're pretty weak for the Apocalypse next turn anyways. We don't want to trash any of this stuff because it's going to be more cost effective for us if we just destroy everything. And we made them spend 7 credits. They got 2 back from the agenda steal. Yeah. So I think we're just going to take money here. Gachapon really doesn't do anything. This is our last buffer drive, but I think we just want to click for credits and probably throw out the Gachapon. Doesn't have that many targets anymore. Yeah, if Stargate shuffled, but you can only use it once a turn. I don't know. It's probably just less fun. Obviously, Stargate's pretty strong. So now we're going to have 12 credits. Still pretty good to Apocalypse. We also got another breaker down, so technically the strength of Hagen's a bit less value. So installing this for 2 actually saves us 1 credit. Oh, that's good. I think we just want to blow all of this up. We're going to lose 6 credits, but whatever. Yo, Maddie, hey, welcome. You made it back. Thanks for walking. So here we have a chance of giving them money if we steal an agenda. Corpse actions. This could be a Mani Sanai. That makes sense. This is actually pretty annoying if we hit this, because then we can put our paperclip back in hand. But if the Mani's res, we don't have to Apocalypse this turn. It's a Project Vacheron. Ooh. So now Mani Sanai does Trace 5 to return a card to the grip. Now, if it is the paperclip, we just discard it at the end of our turn. So this basically just says they don't get Apocalypse this turn, which is really cool. And they spend more money, and their economy is... They got 2 back. Vacheron's a cool card. They could be an Arc Lockdown. Do we have another paperclip? We do. So if we want to blow everything up, we really don't need to this turn. If we want to blow everything up, it's going to be 4 to get through this. Then it's going to be 4 strength. So it's 7, 8, 9, 10. We have money coming in here. I think we're in an okay spot. I think we can just probably play the Hacktivist and click for credits. In theory, could run Archives. We don't really need to. Throwing that out might be a mistake because we're really weak to Arc Lockdown, but this deck doesn't really suggest that it's Arc Lockdown. Yo, Jeremy, what's up? If I said the Corp was trash, would technically be correct, right? What do you mean? How's it going, by the way? Feels terrible to never be able to recover from Stargate Lock once they trash ice. Yeah, I could see that. Alright, well, here we go. But, like, if you got into that situation, you're in a pretty bad spot. Shuffle effects do exist. You could play those. Also, keeping ice in hand sometimes, I don't know. That's an Eli. It looks like we're going to wipe the board here. I don't think there's anything that stops us. Didn't it used to say here that we'd be able to destroy things? That's another Hagen. So they do have an ice on top of their deck, which is unfortunate. Luckily, it's a Hagen, which is just like a face check. And hey, there's your board gone. Let's go. Today is one of the first really good days in a while. Thanks for streaming. I could use some anarchy. Hell yeah. Glad to hear that. Andre, have you thought about using Restream to stream the chat to both Twitch and YouTube, bridge the communication gap? So actually, I have tried Restream before, and I wasn't that happy with it. It's actually the reason why this is set up the way it is. The communication gap for me is fine. It's a bit unfortunate for you. The only way that I could really do it to make that good is to show the stream, like the chat on the actual video itself. But I always struggle so hard with trying to get everything on the screen at the same time. I'm gonna run Archives. There's a chance there's an agenda in here. It's hard. So what would they lost? They lost a Tranquility Grid. That's cool. Obviously the Ash. They got a Turing down, which is actually pretty good on the remote. So here we can set up a bit. We could also face check. I just wanted to check first. What access to breakers do we have? We have everything. The problem is if we do like Stargate into Hagen, we lose the Stargate. And I still think we're favored if we get money because they still have to score in a remote. Yeah, Restream also has a really strong delay on it. When I'm streaming to Restream, it makes the delay a lot worse already. And like, I do spend a fair bit of time like asking chat what's up and stuff like that. So I don't love it. Ooh, Wanton's actually would be pretty strong right now. We'll run HQ first. I just kind of wanted them to res a Hagen. Drafter would be annoying. We have no way to flip our cards. That's a Turing. Okay. And we have a very limited economy, and I don't feel like I'm using our buffer drives correctly. Like, we only have 2 more turns of card draws, and then we're out. So we basically just need to find that Vitruvius and wait. It's a team sponsorship. That's totally fine. So once we pressure a remote and they res like a Turing on a remote, which we can always click through, we can just drop a Stargate and run R&D. Since you won't install them, why not swap out the buffer drives or something? It's a deck list of the week. Our economy was bad. I'd rather have money. I don't know. Oh, that's a good start. All right, so we hit a Vitruvius, we win. It's an Eli, install paperclip. Yeah, we'll go through it for this one, and then the next one we'll just click through. Wow, Jadorno's really annoying. Sponsorship's fine for them to draw, and Arella's fine for them to draw. We can just click for a credit. Again, we have to respect Hagen. I guess we do have the ability to do it. We could run HQ. I'd rather just take the money because our money's pretty weak. We could check what our last 3 cards are. We know it's not a liberated. So it's not gonna be money. Epstein, truth, isn't the idea you can just recycle an econ card with buffer drive once you've gone through the deck? You can, but then you have to draw it. But then the idea is like we're playing this and spending extra clicks to like, it's not efficient, but we definitely can if we're out of cards. Like we could use this probably to do like a Wanton. I think that would probably be a bit more impactful. Oh, wow, econ card. All right, if it's a Turing here, it's fine. This also does put a lot of pressure to hacktivists. Like we're keeping their money down, so even if they could biotic, they can't afford it. Ooh, FC3. We're gonna click through this. We can just take the brain damage. The only card that's bad to lose is the buffer drive. Fire brain? We could just also lose 2 credit. I don't think the brain matters. It's a 1 and 4. Please. Yeah. Yeah, so you can just click on the card, but we didn't do it. My Thursday routine is checking the deck list and tuning it. Oh. Lol. Alright, so we can always trash the face down. I totally forgot that we can do that. It's actually pretty good for us. It gets our stuff back in the bin. Nah, it's fine. Okay, fine. So, I'm just gonna do this. This could be like in theory a bait into Arc Lockdown. I guess we can always trash the casts. Yeah, I was stupid. We definitely should trash our face down cards. It's cool that this deck allows you ways to deal with that, because sometimes getting your cards in the bin is actually really important. I just paid 3, not the right window. Parallel, yeah, I know. The pass item jack out is now at the point where it didn't used to be, and it's confusing me. I'm almost hitting it. Your deck is officially now a heap? Yeah, buffer drive though, right? Arella, Giadorno, Drafter. So Giadorno is actually pretty annoying, and then we can run back and trash the Drafter if we need to. They can't really afford to put the Drafter anywhere. We can start slamming HQ now. Like their econ's fucked, and the cards have to go somewhere. The only problem is if we hit something like a Hyperloop, it's pretty bad. So I think we're actually just going to do R&D first. We can wait next turn for the Drafter to come down. Now we can always just mill the Drafter. It'd probably be good to mill the Drafter. But yeah, now economy is going to be actually pretty tight. I'll do it the proper way. God, they made JNet so much better. It's so easy just to do everything by clicking. Mega Pre. Getting them in the bin means they can't get it. I guess that's fine. Because we can run HQ. We obviously don't want to run that until we win the game. 11 credits? I guess this can be too much. I guess it could be a Fairchild too, which would be a bit annoying. Oh, that's fine. So they definitely have ice in HQ. Agendas in HQ if they're resing the Eli to stop a single axis. So we could just do something really slow where we buffer drive and then get the Wanton. That's good. I think we probably should do that. I forget what's on top of their deck. I think we're just gonna run HQ double click. Team spawn. Okay. I think we know a team spawn and Arella. This is either a drafter, which would make a lot of sense on archives. We'll keep an Epic Culture down there. I guess we'll set up the Wanton for the whole hand. We have to do it in 2 turns though, because we have to click to draw. It's gonna be a bit of a grind. Our multi-axis is not bad now. It's actually pretty good here, considering that we waited a couple clicks. So I think we could just go, oh, if they res that, it's bad for them. Do we run this? Like, there's a small chance as an agenda. I guess we'll check it. There's a small chance this is a bluff for an agenda. Yeah, that makes way more sense. It would be a pretty good bluff though, because we really had very little reason. Oh, fuck. To Okay, now we're really weak to arc lockdown. We probably should just take the random damage. Okay, that's good. All right, well, they basically have to get a preemptive here or they're done. It's funny watching old habits die hard in ice interaction. I know, I keep almost trying to click the, like, jack out button. So now we can probably click 3 run archives. Or credit 3 times archives. I just bought the latest Nisei cycle. Do you know of a way to get the first 2 FFG cycles nowadays? That's the only gap in my collection. Yo, what's up, name? They don't exist anywhere in stores, obviously. They haven't in a long time. If you're lucky, you can find them somewhere. Like secondhand or some stores that maybe didn't properly put them into anything else. You can always print them out yourself if you'd like. You can go to Proxy Nexus and like select the whole cycle, but unfortunately, like, they're just not available really. Is this the deck of the week, Kyle? Yeah, it is. How's it going? So now if they don't res this, they lose. You lose the Gatekeeper at 8 credits? I didn't even do that math. Oh man, that'd be so bad. This is the draft that we expected. So that's a good game. Their economy just didn't set up, and I assume that they want to be like a pretty lean deck. But like our very one trick sort of deck, like just Apocalypse and Stargate and I guess Wanted, that's all. I think we definitely very poorly played with the buffer drive, and we could have been a bit more aggressive with those. It buys us like a third of our deck in time. It also lets us recur things like here. It's a real threat. Like that's cool. But this deck is like so focused. The other decks that used to do this back in the day had Levy. Some of them also would play Labor Rights, but we're playing Paperclip instead as a restricted card. And I think Paperclip is probably really good in this deck. Jogging, what's up? Make playable cards. Solves problems. Yeah, you can make playing cards. You can print cards. Your opponent called you a dingus. Pog you. Yeah, that's Aaron, though. He can call me a dingus. He's right half the time. How's it going, Kinchin? So, I wanted to talk about something and make this maybe a bit... I'm never confident that pedagogical means the thing I wanted to mean. But I'm really scared of a card right now in an interaction. It's an interaction we've had so far, and I want to hear everyone's experience. But so many people I talk to in my meta, and a lot of them are not the most competitive players who are newer to the game or newer to big card pools, were all asking the same question. They said, hey, I've been on JNet for a while now, and I keep playing against Controlling the Message, and it keeps stomping me. Like, sure, I can dodge 1 hard-hitting news, but I can't dodge 2 hard-hitting news. And I think Controlling the Message is one of the decks that does that the most. That specifically, if you're not prepared, if you play poorly, it can capitalize on mistakes in a really wild way. But what's wild right now is the new Controlling the Message deck lists have no new cards in them. In fact, they're playing cards that existed all a long time ago, but I feel like this iteration of the Controlling the Message deck seems to be one of the strongest decks I've ever played against. Want to APOG max the CDM deck? Oh man, it'd be kind of cool. But that's this. And we played this interaction before. This is actually last week, and I remember feeling so dirty once we did it. So big thing is False Lead came back. This is a card that used to rotate. Jogging is saying Play Sunny, and I think Play Sunny is one of the options. So what I want to do right now is talk about this deck, and then how to play it is something we'll do. We'll play a couple games, and then I want to talk about how to play against it. And I think this is the sort of matchup where teching against it is actually, on a competitive scene, probably is 100% necessary. And that's specifically because of this interaction here. And there's a lot of people in chat, so I want to hear if you've been running into these problems, but also I want to hear about, like, have you been running into this and what do you think about it? Because I think it's absolutely crazy. You can try board game prices for looking for those packs. Oh, cool. Misdirection? Yeah, kind of. Yeah, that's the thing, is I also want to hear what you think tech cards are against this, because I think it's very narrow. Watching a lunch break in Australian wasteland. Laura, how's it going? Hey, hopefully have a good afternoon. I've been having fun with Gachapon and Sunny. Hey, Parallel. Yeah, I think I've seen a lot of people doing that. I think we played against Dan, who was doing that. Code Marvelous, who was doing that last week. Seems good. There's a lot of virtuals, and any card that speeds it up. Like, that deck used to play Street Peddler. Probably still does. Okay, so this is the card that used to exist for a long time, and now it still exists. And now people are playing it and thinking this is crazy. And I can't believe, like, what happened? Why weren't we playing this before? But the idea is you score a single false lead. And that's kind of a big deal about NBN, is scoring 3-1 agendas can be trivial. It's actually something you can do kind of easily, if you're lucky or depending on your opponent, on turn 1. Because on turn 1, you can install 3 remotes. And a lot of your cards are assets. So even if you don't install it behind ice, this is the sort of deck where you can't tell if it's like a pad campaign, which you probably can't afford to trash right now, or a Mumbed Virtual Grid, if you hit turn 1, can be game ending. Or a false lead. And so it's very easy for you to score out a false lead. And once you score out a false lead, you're at a really weird situation. And that's that hard-hitting news gets very, 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 very good. Now, hard-hitting news, if you watch competitive play of CTM, and I've spent a fair bit commentating CTM decks. Last time I did commentary at Worlds, this showed up a lot. It won Worlds, and there's a bunch of different CTM versions. A lot of times you will get hard-hitting news against controlling the message, even if you play the game perfectly. And they will hard-hitting news you for a couple reasons. They will do it for tempo, just so that when you spend your turn spending like 4 clicks and clearing 4 tags, or maybe 3 clicks and 3 tags, gives them the ability to jam an agenda behind a remote or build their board state and get ahead of you. Now, sometimes you just have too little money where you can't clear the tags, and that's a problem. Now, all the controlling the message decks, mind you, besides the one that this is based off of, which was Spags' deck list, and Spags' deck list did top 8, top 16, at least top 8 at Worlds, was a bit different, because it was the only one that was straight up trying to murder the runner. And this is based off of that deck. It only has like a couple card changes because of 1 card rotating. I think it's only 1 card different. Actually, probably 2 cards different. The problem is, it's no longer about, I'm doing this for tempo. If you ever score a false lead and you have more money than the corp or than the runner, and you can land a hard-hitting news, you usually win the game, because most runners can't clear 4 tags in 2 clicks. The only runners that can do it are runners that use misdirection, and they need to have misdirection on the table. They have to be able to get it clicklessly, or they have to have it installed, which is still not every single shaper, considering you're still trying to win the game in other ways. But if you're not playing against someone that has misdirection or can tutor misdirection, so most criminals and most anarchs, they're fucked. Because all you do is you take 2 clicks away, and then they have 2 tags, and then you can boom them. And sure, Boom is a trashable card, and it's not the cheapest card, but if you have 4 or 6 credits, this deck also runs 2 copies of a Consulting Visit, so you can go ahead and find that Boom. And that's it. And there's like no counterplay to it. Almost all the meat damage protection in the game right now, we'll talk about some counter cards, are resources, unless you're like doing hand size stuff. So like you generally die anyways, or they can, as long as they don't have the Consulting Visit, they can trash your like, what's it called, Citadel Sanctuary. And on top of it, you could always trash the Boom. This deck runs 3 preemptive actions to make sure it's back in the deck when they need it. Now, if you remove the Boom from the game, you're in a really good spot, because this deck has no tag punishment. But again, there's a lot of kinds of CTM. This is just the only one we're talking about. But CTM is fine. Hard-hitting news is fine. A lot of people complain about corp cards that can attack runners. It's very annoying. Kyle, I agree with you, and I think, I don't know, that's a conversation we'll get to in a bit. But I don't think this is... If you score a false lead and get more money than the runner, and the runner's not playing misdirection or any other specific tag card, you win the game. Like, you just win the game, don't you? What am I missing here? And I know there's tech cards, and they're very niche and narrow. Like, I think the really strong tech cards, the ones that don't help you trash assets, the one that stop you from getting hard-hitting news, there's like 3 of them, and one of them is misdirection. And one of them is a lot of influence. It's buck wild. And then on top of that, if you score 2 false leads, all you need to have is more money, and then they die to boom. We did this last week in Gagarin deck. We scored 2 false leads. The runner didn't interact with us. We jammed in an agenda, so they had to run. And then we made sure they had less money than us with economic warfare, and then they're dead. And it's crazy. This deck actually runs Liquidation, which is a card that I was so surprised to see, but also surprised that it says specifically res cards, which I was so unhappy when I played this and tried to wipe my whole board and realized I couldn't. But this is a card that is just to ensure that you have at least 4 credits to blow people up with a boom, which I really, really like. Or more accurately, you can blow up your board suddenly and hard-hitting news them, and then you just take their 2 to 4 clicks away, and then they're dead, which is buck wild. But I'm so glad that this card actually has like a really strong function. This card also just, they need 6 Wayland cards so they can play Consulting Visit and No Influence, so that also is why it goes in there. Meta is straight good. There's a Prism Chop, GG Jogging. What is that? I think you're missing all the things that the runner has to let happen. Kyle, I think you're... I don't think there's a lot that the runner has to let happen. I'll correct this anti-snur. Okay, so I don't want to say the sky is falling. I just think that this is an incredibly competitive deck, and this sort of interaction, there's like fair few ways to interact with it. And I think this deck will stomp players that specifically don't have a lot of experience of playing against controlling the message, or more importantly, have decks with really bad economy. Every step of the plan, the corp plans until the last step gives the runner ways to stop it. I don't think so. I don't think so. Like, if you sneak up the false leads, no. I think you're underestimating Balone in this list. Yo, Chaos, what's up? Yeah, Balone is sweet. And that's actually a big change. So what's changed in this deck since it last came out? So firstly, there was the rotation of the card that let you tutor things. Shit. Executive Bootcamp, it says right there, so easy. And that's where this came in. I think Drudge Work is a new inclusion to this deck, and this deck actually has more cards to do shitty things with. A lot of the older versions of this deck, and I think maybe Spags' version was different, but they're running 3-pointers. And all of these 3-pointers, like, it's really hard to steal a Bologna. And once you do, the credit differential is different, so hard-hitting news is a lot higher. This deck isn't on GFI anymore, and that's a huge difference. Yeah, this is a really strong card. And most of the agendas that you steal, it's really bad for you. Like Explodapalooza, they have more money than you. SSL, they have more money than you. It's hard to steal agendas in this deck. Other things that changed, it's just this card. And this deck used to have a toll booth, which was meant to be their big, I'm going to put this on a central that I'm really weak to card, or sometimes a scoring remote. And it used to be toll booth. Honestly, I do like the Hydra a fair bit better. A lot of times you end up resing this for what is meant to be 5 credits, because Sentry Breakers aren't very important against CTM or NBN in a lot of ways. So this is generally a pretty good surprise, and it has some pretty good teeth. With the 5 credit rebate, like a lot of times this only costs 5 credits. And also it's really important, any card that gives you a tag is really, this is also like a really big thing about false lead, is that whole combo about like false leading into hard hitting news, boom, all that sort of stuff. Like, admittedly, false lead is still just a good card. If they ever end their second click with a tag that they weren't expecting, which Data Raven, they'd have to fuck up. IP blocks sometimes can happen, but Hydra can definitely happen sometimes. You can take the rest of their clicks away, and then at that point, you can do some cool stuff. The only other tag punishment you have is closed accounts. And sure, it's only a one of. This deck is pretty good at finding the stuff it needs if daily business shows work, but you can also consulting visit this. And as soon as you close account somebody, not only is your remote now really good, let alone all your assets are pretty safe, but on top of that, yeah, you can hard hitting use them, and then they can't clear the tags. Like, this is so strong, and that's actually why I really like inclusions of other cards in this deck, like a single price ec. This is the sort of card that even if you're in a really good position, the runner could fuck up and not expect. If they run the remote server and then hit this when they only have 2 clicks left, sure, they'd have to fuck up, but I don't think everyone plays around Prisec and CTM. Maybe most lists do have it. Same goes with Mumbad Virtual Tour, but you have to win the trace. And then you also have a CU, which is really strong, because if they don't interact with you, you can always get this off to close their accounts, and then basically they can't interact with you without losing. And Lady Liberty is also a newer card, which is really good, because Bologna, because you're 1-4-2, but most importantly, False Lead, don't have on-scored abilities, so they're fantastic. Hydra. Yeah, Hydra is really good. I actually really like the Hydra inclusion as like a way to as a big punishment ice, because I think it's a lot better than Toll Booth in a lot of ways. It's also not weak to to it's a bit better against Boomerang, I guess, but it's not weak to a lot of the other it's not weak to Hunting Grounds. I think the only thing I would change for the ice, I tried some different things. In the version I played one IP block, one resistor, and one copy of Gold Farmer. And I think Gold Farmer is like legitimately fine. You don't really have money to trace a lot of the time, but this is a cool AI card. I think you have a lot of flexibility of what barriers to run before someone figures out what's the best ones. But I think the one thing I would add to this deck is probably just put in a single Enigma, forcing the runner to be able to have to deal with code gates, especially if they're criminals sometimes. I know Enigma is weak to Amakua, which a lot of times Amakua counters come pretty easily. I think it's cool that you can force another breaker if you really need to, and it's a hard end to run. What does this deck do if they lose the boom? Triple preemptive. But if you like remove it from game, which is like a very niche effect, and if you're playing, I think if you're already playing like Salset Slums, your favorite against this deck, you're in a pretty good spot. Yeah, if you remove the boom, all they have is basically close the counts and then try and do a Glacier. Yeah. Yeah, it's good. It's a good deck. And against, this is also one of the problems. So I like hard-hitting news as a design. I think we saw a lot of problems with hard-hitting news attached to like really strong assets. Like Sensei's Actor Union was nuts because not only if it fired, it's such a good card, but on top of it, it's hard to have an ability that good that a deck can protect so well with hard-hitting news, let alone it draws. I don't know. I think it's cool that like there's nothing wrong. I think that's good that the Corp has a strong way to win. I just feel like this, like the whole false lead thing is a bit counter, like there's not a lot of interaction to it, and there's just so few ways to deal with it. I think the move from GFI to blown and freeing up that influence is probably monstrous. I've also expect there's more optimized versions on Kali testing for the false leads. Yeah, you could. I'd imagine that too. And like maybe this can swing pretty well to more fast advance. I've seen some wild versions. I've played against MCA versions. I've played against Keegan Lane versions. There's like a lot of flexibility with the shell, but basically, and this is a big thing, like this could just be better in Gagarin. And we saw the deck list of the week last week. Like if you score a false lead against Gagarin, like it's hard because that deck can run 3 boom and 3 consulting visit. You probably shouldn't. And then you have economic warfare. Oh, it's good. It's good. It's good. We're going to play one of this. I'm going to change one card at least. I want to try, instead of liquidation, I want to try Roughneck Repair Squad. I think it's just a cool card and ensures you have economy. Sometimes it's hard to spend your whole turn doing something. If you had Jeeves, it'd be a bit better. But it also removes bad pub, which is a weakness to this deck for sure. Enigma would be good. I don't know what we cut. I guess we could try cutting an IP block. I don't know. Maybe we cut another IP block for a Gold Farmer. I don't know. Gold Farmer is hard to break. Cut Lady Liberty for something else? No, Lady Liberty is amazing. I think if there's anything, I'd actually love to get a, what's it called? A tech startup in this deck, just so that we could find the Lady Liberty and get it down. Like this card is, they have to interact with you, and there's not many cards you have that force interaction. Like you res this for maybe 3 credits with the Mamba Temple, and you score a false lead. Man, scoring one pointers when you res Lady Liberty on turn 1 is sick. It's so good. After we play this once, hopefully we don't get totally stomped, so this does seem like a strong deck. I want to talk about the other side of the table and what we can do against it. Playing against this deck is also very specific. I was playing with Maddie this weekend, and playing her, like, she has a limited card pool, but playing Hoshiko, which I think is a fun matchup. But like, if you just interact with the Corp improperly, like going for singles on R&D turn 1, like, oh, you're gonna lose the game a lot of the times. NBN controlling message. All right, let's take out the liquidation, as fun as that is, and we can put a Drudge. What's it called? Roughneck. I think that's a fun card. It's on their asset. Yeah, we probably want to get an Enigma in here. I don't know how to. We'll try an IP block for Enigma. The face check on Enigma is pretty good. That's probably good enough. There's a chance, like the resistor is harder to get through. I guess it's really easy if they have an Amakua because it's 0 strength. And if they go tag me, usually the game isn't that long. So I think the resistor might be wrong. I don't know. There's a small chance you actually could start playing like that authenticator, whatever that 2-4 code gate is that gives you money. Like that's probably okay in this sort of list. Oh, yo, Marc Andre, what up? Gabe, ooh. Hey, man. Okay, opening hand. We have the early economy. This is Gabe that has HQ pressure. We want to keep them out. No link. So we can always ice up IP block. It's a bit of a face check. We also have to watch out for archives eventually. If they steal the Explodapalooza, it's fine for us. We also have Dredgeric to Panic and Nasex for turn 1. We don't have like a Rashida or anything great, but we only have 7 ice in our deck. Getting one that ends the run that we can res is pretty great. I hope Gabe has On the Lam. Yeah, there's like 3 cards. One of them's On the Lam. Less likely. I think you probably should right now be playing No One Home in just about every deck. That's the way I see it. Ooh, that SSL is pretty risky. I think we just bury the SSL. And this is still like a thing they have to trash. Like we can just bury the Explodapalooza. Obviously R&D is open. But like stealing a Bologna this early in the game, it like is so good at protecting itself. Well, I guess they did play sure gamble, but you see what I mean. And tracing this is not that bad. Ooh, class act. Okay, they're setting up. They don't run here. Dreamnet, that's actually a good card too against this matchup. I don't think they're gonna have 2 link. Probably don't care if they take SSL. It's just news money. Yeah, that's true. We basically got 1 tick of the SSL out. All right, we have a hard hitting news now. Okay, so we want to draw and install 2 assets. It's back. I guess we can bury it. I don't know. If they steal this, it's good for us. So they could be unfalsified. R&D obviously is open, but hard hitting news can be a real issue. Paragon's good. So they run, they get a card and a credit. It's pretty great. I like this card a lot. Yo, this and Hashiko is basically wild side again, am I right? Dirty Laundry. Okay, they're gonna get some money. They can't steal Bologna. Not checking the remotes too, which is good to know. But their run-based economy should be pretty good against us. We can't ice up everything. So they definitely have 3 Dirty Laundry. Cool thing about this deck, I guess it's slightly, I don't know. They don't get max value with, what's that 3 cost one that gives it Bravado? Because we generally only run 1 ice. It's still good. But it's not like you're running a 2-3 ice server in some matchups. Nasex also has the cool ability to burst up credits if you need to scare the hard-hitting news. If they install something really big here, we could hard-hitting news them. And then as soon as our hard-hitting news, also the IP block on HQ gets a heck of a lot better. I just cling for credits. I think that's the right play. I'll res this. Nigma's good. Nigma on HQ actually might be a bit better. Oh, that's sweet if we can get that off next turn, especially because we don't have to discard cards. They have to deal with this thing, right? Like, I know we're spending our whole turn doing nothing, but like this is exactly what we need. I love this way more than liquidation because it's better in so many more times. Their econ's fine though. Direct access! Oh, they're trashing this. This turns over ability, so that means the next one takes a link. This is fine. I guess this is a tech card. This has a 1 counter on it. I don't think you trash it when it has 1 counter. That's so great. Is this good against anybody? I guess like Earth Station. That's probably it, right? It turns off their ability if they run HQ. I guess they wouldn't need to turn off our ability when they run HQ. And now it also shuffles their deck, which is really bad with Paragon. Oh, that's okay, but they're gonna get the credit anyways, so whatever. Mamba Temple's good. They already got the credit from Nasex, so I don't mind. But yeah, Pat Tap's also pretty great against this deck. Now we have the credit lead in theory, we can kind of hold them down. We also have to watch out for inside jobs, so single Hydra isn't amazing. This is not the best opening. The best opening we could get obviously involves like Rashidas or bankers groups, stuff like that. We can click this again next turn too. Like, we're not contesting anything. I'll spend 2 turns to get 12 credits. Seems okay. They've gone through a lot of their burst money. But Galter coming down. Okay, wow. So, like, I don't think you install this against a matchup. Like, obviously, Hydra is the only issue. Yeah, we don't really have anything to do here. I'll take 22. We have a credit lead now. That's good. So next turn, I think we can trash the pad tap, install Mamba. Hopefully we get another card that we can against an Issei division value. It's so weird. This turns off both cards. Oh, I guess it's shuffled in the deck, but it turns off both sides. That's another Dirty Laundry, just running archives. Okay, so that's 4 credits and a card draw. Pretty good. This is also a restricted card. Helps a lot with reses once a turn. And they could be playing Miss Bones. That's kind of their in faction like remote hate card. I guess in the ESN format, but we haven't seen a Amakuo would be scary. Ooh, find the truth. Wow, that's good. That's good. That punishes us going wide. We don't have any like mid-run shuffle abilities. Enigma's holding up at least. Thinking, cool. So we could hard-hitting news them here. It wouldn't be particularly good. And they can't really trash something last click. Like, we could boost a lot into the trace. Okay, I guess we'll res this. So here we can trace. We could spend a lot of money to ensure they have a tag, and we can trash find the truth. Honestly, this probably is worth it. This is probably worth it. That's so absurd. So now we can trash find the truth, which is important. Closed accounts, top deck, or even a consulting visit would be fucking sweet. We can also trash pat tap for value. No, okay, we didn't get it. So that's how we lose, probably. Trashing Dreamnet's probably fine. I think I'm gonna spend enough to put them on 7 if they pay into it. Oh, that's true. We could have just like hard-hitting news them at that point. Yeah, this is probably way inefficient. Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, we didn't need to spend that much. Thanks, Rob. Yeah, so Rob was saying basically we just spent enough money that if they dodge the tag, they'd have 7 credits. Then we could hard-hitting news for probably less money, and then they have to spend their whole turn. So it's basically like we got the closed accounts in it, and they would end 2 turns with tags. Now, a lot of times the face check last click isn't bad if it's something like a Data Raven. Well, how much does it cost Bogalta to break this thing? So 5 for strength, 6, 7, 8 for subs, and they get 2 back 6. Can't do that too often. Gabe also a lot of times is on D-res effect, just because they do have a lot of HQ pressure. So it's a Mamba Temple. If they trash it, it's 3 and plus a trace. Us getting us up is also really good. They can go HQ here, right? Like, sure, we could boost money, but they get 2 back, so they basically only spend 1 to get an access, and we haven't filtered draws. Ooh, it's expensive. Raven on HQ is probably fine. It keeps him out. I don't know if we need Hydra for this matchup. We also could just take 6. I think maybe throwing in the preemptive there is better. We have 3 in the deck. We're not doing anything that quickly. But here we want to do like Raven remote false lead. I'm assuming it'll eat an inside job. But now we have more money than them again. There's another pat tap. Ooh, security testing. Okay, cool. So we can, that's always going to fire. It's 3 credits a click. It's pretty good. I wonder how this deck does against like Glacier though. I think they need a caddy for that. Flash screen. Okay. Flash screen. Turning wheel? Sure. Not really anything they can bounce off too easily. So now they're getting 2 credits a turn. I think we can take some time trashing these. We can get this on the table. We res this for free if we'd really like to. They only have 3 cards in their hand. I guess when they run to get 3 credits, they also get a free card draw. Or not anymore. We actually trash the deep mind. This does at least show how little this deck does with mediocre draw. Yeah, that's true. That's really true. I feel like you should trash a repair squad. Yeah, I think so. The thing with this is they really want to trash 2 things at once. But yeah, if we don't have a strong draw, like we are dirtling for a fair bit. Like there's a chance we also just want to give them this. Oh, that's fine. They probably want to trash this, and then they can trash something else. Because the CTM trace is only once a turn. Again. They're not installing it. There's the caddy, so that's what they play for the long game. I don't know why they didn't trash this. That's so much money. Do they have some like wild win condition? Like this is 3 credits. Oh, I took the money. Double false lead. Okay. Did they even get their sec testing? Okay, jogging. Fine, I'll play splash screen. Jeez. We probably just want the econ here. We can start throwing the book at them. What did we do here? Click 2? That's terrible. I don't know if that was worth roughnecking instead. I'd rather roughneck. But now we're set up to make good money. They need to trash our stuff. They really do. Lady Liberty would be sweet. A fair bit of emote spam. So server 2, there's a spec order. They're getting the corroder. HQ is now open for business. So that Raven is probably poorly timed. We're gonna get flooded a bit. So basically they spend 3 to get the access. Oh, actually, corroder's a bit worse, right? It's 4 credits, so they get 2 back. They get 1 back from Paragon. Amina. Why would they install that? It's so expensive. This is what I really think is bad against the matchup. Spending money installing huge things. Now we have the huge credit lead. Like, sure, I guess we get doofed now. That's fine if we get doofed. We actually could install 2 of these. It's fine. Raven HQ install false lead and Exploda? Yeah, I think Rob, you're on delay. We're way too late for that. I think Raven HQ was correct. Because now we can get doofed. They also probably are on embezzle, assuming that they're Gabe. But like, I don't like this. There's no face check where you're scared of putting a Kogate down. I don't know if we res our Enigma. I don't think we do. Also, it's very minor, but I think putting this on archives is wrong. Just because there's a face down on it, they can't access it. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, we thought that was gonna happen. We could choose to res it, because we'd be able to res it with Mamba. We actually might lose 2 false leads here. But like now they're accessing with 3 credits. Unless they do something crazy for money, like a diversion here, they're gonna get hard hitting these like a truck. And they can't clear the tags. I guess they could take Caddy, but still. We hard hitting and use them once. Only problem is we can't score the false lead. And as soon as we false lead, like we can pop the false lead just to trash all their resources. Yeah, there's the Caddy. Credit. Okay, well, I guess we'll just take the false lead. And we started our turn by getting 4 credits. Alright. So now if we land a hard hitting news and we're set up for boom, they die. And again, they installed this for 7 credits and it's done nothing. They've installed this for 3 credits and it's done nothing. I guess it made us throw out the Hydra. But like, they should be 21 credits. Let alone the clicks back and all that. They're also not getting their sec testing every turn, which I think is a mistake. So now if we draw a consulting visit, there's a doof, that's fine. I think we'll still have more money than them. We can always click these. Like, we're getting 4 at the top of our turn. This is fine. This is actually not that good, right? Because they pay 1 for it. I guess they get 2 more. But like, basically they're gaining, what? 3 credits on this run? I guess with Paragon? We lose 5. It's not that important right now. Oh, they don't need to break both of these subroutines, excuse me. They only need to break 1. It's only 3. Same as Paperclip. They broke both subroutines. They don't need to do that. Emote only chat. Alright, so it looks like we're going to lose 5. They're going to gain 5. Gabe's ability fired for the first time this game. And I think we just protect Rashida behind here. A second doof. This is actually not even that good. Like, we lose 5 and they don't gain anything. Right? Like, they're spending 4 to get in here. Plus 1 for this. If they're breaking both of the subs, which they are fucking up. So this actually doesn't do anything for them. It just makes us lose money. If I'm not mistaken. Okay. So this will go in server 6. This will go into a new remote. We'll take a credit. 8 credit swing for 2 clicks seems okay, but they're they're fine for it to matter. Yeah, especially with all this coming in. Like, we can always click for 6. But like, look, they played this for 1. They broke everything for 4. So they spent 5 to gain 5, but we lost 5. Like, it's still a big swing, but it doesn't matter how, like, it's more, if they have money. No, actually it's more important that we have money. It's equally important. There's the last doof. This is totally fine. Like, we're making so much money on the board. This actually is way better now because Gabe and Paragon fire for the first time, but like, they can always run for 3. Like, I think there's better stuff for them to do. Uncontested commercial bankers group. Yeah, I know. 2 of them as well. 2 for Gabe. Yeah, Maui, for sure. 2 for Gabe on the first one. So they're making 3 on this run, let alone we lose it. But like, they're not trashing things. Like, now that they have the credit lead, they could consider trashing things. Ooh, bravado, but last click into a Raven. That's no good. So now either they end the turn with a tag or end the run. We only res this for 2 credits. I guess 3 credits because we can't let it to bankers now. Tag or EDR? Obviously the tag here would be awful. But they gained their bravado money. It looks like their econ's good. But talk about good econ. We're starting a turn at 6 credits. We could also put all this money onto Nasix. We probably should do it. I've never actually done it. When the credits through a card ability other than access, you spend up to 2 to place that many power counters on Nasix. This seems like a turn we could do the Nasix, but I've never done it, and I feel like it's gonna take a long time. Okay, we now have 16 credits. Cool. So this on HQ will be a problem. I guess this in another remote. And we have the commercials bankers, so like... I'm sorry, we have the consulting visit. We probably could have popped off there with the Nasix. Next turn we will. JNet combine the servers? That's some hype. Yeah, right? Yeah, the point is that Doof on its own is not very good now. No, it's not. Yeah, JNet's been doing that for a while. You have an option up here to unstack servers if you really want to, but against acid spam decks, like, that's so huge. Inside job? Cool. Well, then now they've made a run. So they die. Unless we somehow lose in this turn, which is not impossible. That's all the false leads. They're not trashing these. Oh, it's Buck Wild. Okay. If you res this, it asks you for the credits. It's so elegant. Alright. Good game, I guess. So we just need to keep 6 credits. They've already duped us that many times. So if we spend 16, that's 20. And once they spend 2 clicks, we just false lead them, and then they lose. Like, it's hard. They have to go find the boom and trash it in R&D. It's 1 in 27. They have no multi-access, and that means that they're not going to clear the tags anyways, so other punishments are relevant. Like, I think this is crazy. We didn't have a good start. I think they didn't play it perfectly. I think they should have been pressuring Centrals like crazy. But, like, this interaction is so wild. Like, there's just so little counterplay to this because they didn't play no one home. If they played no one home, yeah, they would have been safe. Because we don't have enough money. Whoa, hold on. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Woo. Yeah, not playing Amina was right. Watch it. False lead is a prompt now. Yeah, they gotta undo the turn. I got false lead. They're not allowed to clear the tags. I wrote Shay. Does that work? Do I have to do it too? Yeah. Where's the prompt? Where is the prompt, Rob? After you take 2. Click it. Oh, sure. I thought... That's not a prompt. I didn't see a dialogue box. Am I missing something? Isn't the proper time to use indicate action? Yeah, but that doesn't stop them from doing anything. I thought this was just a text prompt. Wow, 17 credits. Like, that's so crazy. I don't know. I scored a 3-1 and I had more money than them. Thanks to the game, eh? And they still have good money, but obviously that doesn't really matter. It's used to get sacked as soon as you click the card. Oh, cool. Okay, cool. I'd actually like that better. Because I can, like, fucking, you know, it's like stream. I was like competitive esports where you flick. You're like, oh, quick. Let's run another one of these. How long did you sit on bankers, though? I know. Like, they could have kept their money down. They should have. They could have trashed everything, and we'd actually be in a really bad spot. We probably shouldn't have won that game. But if they trashed everything, they had the money to do it. And we also did fuck up the early play with the IP block for sure. Like, for sure. We could have done way smarter. No counterplay, accept to run central, trash boom, steal false lead, keep the corpse money down, run the misdirection, run no one's home, have a large hand size. Kyle, I don't want to say that I know that it is counterplay the deck. I think it's a lot harder than all those things. Like, to do all those things, like pressure centrals against this deck while also pressuring remotes and have the economy to do all that at once is very hard for a lot of decks to do. I think scoring false lead is very trivial to do. That seems like the sort of ability that would have been on a 4-2. Maybe? I don't know. That's crazy. No one used to play false lead. Have a land hand size, like all that stuff I do agree with, but that's like niche tech stuff that people aren't playing, and I think you need to play with it. And that's kind of what I'm saying here, is like the matchup gets so much easier. Thanks, you too. Lat has link. If you play like 2 copies of no one home, 1 copy no one home, a scrubber, stuff like that. 3 scope, 60 no scope, your score. Yo, what's up, Jim? Opening hand's a lot better. We do have the roughneck, and we can actually play less cards here. Ooh, into that, so that we can have I think they can pressure R&D so that it's harder for them to get the free card draw. I like this for the remote. I think Shapers deal with Code Gate's better, but at least it's a more relevant face check. Actually, that's probably wrong. Raven on the remote is probably right. I'm just worried about R&D pressure, but a lot of times this game doesn't come to R&D pressure. If you can pressure remotes better. I think we fucked up the ice placement. Let's see what Lat also doesn't easily run Stim Hack, which is a really good card against this matchup. Even if you use Stim Hack just to trash a daily business show and not take a tag, like, it's totally worth it. Click, take a brain damage, trash a remote, fine. Beth is good. They're going down to low credits, so it's hard for them to interact with us right now. Like, there's no gamble casts. Wow, they can't interact with us for a couple turns. Honestly, we'll see what we draw here. We don't really need this. Let's just go get 6. I like this way better than Liquidation, I'll be honest. We are going to give them credits. We're at 11. What did they get? A free card draw? Yeah. Hostage coming down. Something they really want here. Paul's Cafe? No, Paul is not a connection. It's Caddy. Ah, Caddy's good. The fact that the popular deck types right now have a hard time with this deck isn't really a problem. What decks do you think struggle with this, Kyle? Caddy's good. It's slow. Let's get 2 things in a remote. I don't think we need to hit this. None of these cards are good right now. We could have drawn better. I don't even know what runners are good right now. But they're chugging along. We really want to go fast. Like, getting a false lead behind an IP block Enigma would be pretty great. There's the Paulo's Cafe. So that makes a lot of sense. This could be very similar to the Chameleon deck. This probably means misdirection, which is tricky for us. And they're not getting the free card draw. Oh, they are. That's why they clicked for credit. That's fine with us. Give us something to jam. DBS will be really good. We have seen no DBSs so far. First game was a bit longer than this one so far. Oh, excuse me. Will Resin Essex. Rizeki, that's good. We just really need to go fast. They have 6 credits sitting on Caddy, which soon will be 9. A CU is now so hot. When you do CO trash Pauls, it loses everything, or CU trash Caddy. A CU would be really good in the remote. Like, a CU right now would be game winning. I should do it the proper way. Oh, that's great. So it's good to have a remote like this. It takes 2 different type of breakers. I guess with Chameleon, one of them gets to this, but Chameleon can't deal with IP block without having the extra link. They'll have 2 link, by the way, because they do run usually Cyber Trooper Talut. But the Rashid is pretty sweet. Notice how we're not clicking this. Like, there's a Cyber Trooper Talut, so they have 2 link. That's good. It's good value, especially when we have IP block. And their money is catching up. We're talking really fast tonight. Am I talking faster than normal? I think we tried to slow down, specifically last week. Oh man. CU, give us a CU. What is this, by the way? Mumbed? Probably should have built on top of that. Okay. Got some cards. Server 6. Good. New remote. Great. Server 6. Double ice. What is this? Again, if the Raven was there, it would have been so much better. A little bit faster. Okay, I'll slow it down a wee bit. Also move my face. So this forces them to interact. They could interact with 17 credits. They still need breakers, which SMC, if it pulls it out, they can't contest misdirection immediately. We can res most of this stuff for free, or near free. Again, if Mumbed was in the remote, I think we fucked up. There's no reason for them to run this. Server 6 should have been on top of a virtual. There's also some really good counterplay against virtual. Some people don't know. If there's two things in the remote, if you're worried that there's a virtual tour and you're at like 6-7 credits, you can always boost into the CTM trace. I think that's huge. It's also important to know you can always boost breakers whenever you want. That's a really big deal. Because you can boost your breakers right before you access a Mumbai virtual tour. Ensure you access with 4. It's not always going to work. Like, that's not always going to be a possibility, but that's an important possibility that it sometimes wins games. Why not bankers on MVT? Because I'm an idiot, and I forgot about the MVT twice now. But you're totally right. This banker should 100% be on top of this MVT, so that if they trash it, it hurts. This MVT in server 2 with nothing on top of it, they will never check this. Like, I think we definitely are goofing it up. Hey, Scrubber! Oh yeah, this deck list talked about it, and they have the misdirection. Luckily, we have one of these. I should do this the right way. One day. I guess we're just going to score the false lead. Puts us down to 15 credits, so they have more than one click. End turn. Preemptive, not that important. Close accounts is huge. But I think they're going to have to start interacting with us. And 2-link, a Scrubber. Ooh, Boomerang. What's happening here? Hushuk already? This is a good target for Boomerang though, as in like it's still annoying. Yeah, it's a Hushuk. Okay, well we can res the Raven. If they take the tag, like we false lead them. Basically, we got this Hushuk down. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Oh, 1 sec. Stop it. They took the tag. Oh wow. Wow, we're gonna wipe their whole board. Why would they take the tag here? Like, people just goof this up. Action before accessing. You have no clicks left. We have a closed accounts and to trash everything. Like, this is why false lead's still good. Obviously, they had to fuck it up. And what do they want, the price tag or the SSL? Like, they have to goof it up, but sometimes you hit a price tag. Like, sometimes you just fuck this up. Well, there goes everything. Close into HHN, yeah. What's the most important to trash here? Probably, I don't know, the Scrubber? But I think we're gonna win no matter what we do. This will give him another click, that seems important. Like, I guess they did fuck up pretty bad. But yeah, that's the play. They have 5 tags, no money, no way to make money. Yeah, Beth is right, I think. What's up, Plywood? That's it. Obviously, like, they did a massive goof. But, like, that happens. Make a game. That's rough. Hey. Run 2 clicks with a Boomerang on HQ. Huge mistake, mega goof. Yeah. Hey, you too. Cheers. Alright, so they de-goofed it. But, like, this is the sort of deck that can really capitalize on that mistake. False lead really is good. But, like, I think people are going to do that. And you can put more price... Maybe you want more price decks than MVTs in this deck. Sometimes you run a remote. And then, like, you get 2 tags suddenly because of this. And then it's just like, get fucked on. That's rough. We'll try and get another one in. I wonder if they're playing CTM. I feel like that's like, I don't know. So many people, oh, they're not. But I've heard from so many people in my meta that that's like the thing that they're dealing with right now is always CTM. Might be hard to find. There's 3 people idling for Corp. Very bad you are at drawing DBS. You've been amazing at drawing ice. Yeah, we've been pretty good at drawing ice. We also drew consulting visits consistently, which is great. What we haven't, so things that we haven't seen that this deck does well. We're very good at drawing Roughneck, which honestly we don't have to use that regularly. Yo, Cody, what up? All right, Cabo. Wow, opening hand. That's a good opening hand. Am I right? You too, you too. So they probably are gonna do some early stim hacking, which means they can both trash our shit and get their what's it called out. Rizekis. So we'll do double Rashida into pad. So at least one Rashida will probably live. Hey, all happy Friday from the future. Giles, what's up? Welcome. Hope your Fridays are okay. I think you in the biz, you guys call that one hot. Yeah, this is a hot hand. And this is the sort of hand that like we haven't seen so far in 2 games where like you can just the amount of tempo you get turn 1. Like that's ooh. I think I'd rather do double Rashida. Cause like now this draws into more stuff, so you have more stuff, so like it snowballs like crazy. And Shaper doesn't have any way in faction to deal with assets. They lost Parisia, so they have to really import something. Mache doesn't really do what anybody wants it to do. Pad Tap's good though. Luckily we're gonna get a couple fires, and we gotta trash that. We should be able to if we need to. Pad Tap. Pad Campaign. Caddy. Ooh, nice and slow. And that's why, like, there could have been a false lead. Imagine it was false lead on the table as well. It's so gross. And now they think this one's an MVT because we didn't do anything with it. Speaking of MVT, we have CU. CU trashes Caddy. They can steal this. It'll probably be fine for us. They're ready to the hard-hitting news. This deck almost definitely has misdirection, and Cabal can always pull for it, but again, with false lead, they don't have enough clicks. I like when people stagger their pad taps. I think that's smart. So we could just see you and trash Caddy here. I think, do we see you and trash Caddy? I think it's super cheap for us to do that. Yeah, what do you do against Diversion of Funds? Oh, we'd Ice HQ. Against this, we're not worried. I think we can do it next turn. They're not going to run. And it's awkward because we're going to be drawing with this, then we have to throw out some cards. All right, well now HQ pressure is kind of a real thing. Our hand got a bit clumsy. I think 3 PMs might be a bit too much. We can't? I've been testing 1x Bones and Shaper. It's been great if you can find it. How much influence is Ms. Bones? I feel like she's like 2 or 3. The thing is, like, Scrubber is almost always better. Like, this is cool. Oh, it's 2. It's this or Scrubber, and I don't know. I don't feel like one's particularly better than the other. Oh, hey. Okay, now we throw the book at them. Holy shit. There goes Caddy. They spend 1 credit because they have a link. Big oof. Ooh, yeah. CU is so good. And like, you think you cannot run. That's true, largely. But Big oof is right. We don't have enough money for this to actually be an issue. Jamming this in remote sucks. Our hand's a bit clumsy. I think we just want to get the Rashidas back in. Unfortunately, that Pat Tap needs to go. Yo, Apathy, what's up? It's going okay. We're playing some CTM. But their economy kind of fell apart a wee bit there. They're getting 2 credits a turn with Pat Tap and Rizeki. Our money is a bit dried up. Like a banker's would be good. They also had to clear the tag, which is definitely a cost as well. I honestly could give them the SSL. I'd rather have jammed the Bologna in this remote. Yikers. So these together are kind of a nombo. I guess we're clicking for credits. How much do we need for this? Not great. Miss Bones needs a card like Rejig for connections. A very Arkham Horror type card. They have exactly 5. So running is a bit scary now. Double Rizeki, okay. We kind of have to put the gas up. We can do advance here. Oh man, if we had a Roughneck, we put on a Mumbad Virtual Grid. Oh, really? Really? That's rough. Not that one. So DBS obviously is a good card. We have 3 in the deck. It kind of makes sure that you draw the good things. We haven't found one yet. A lot of things would be good here. But now they have more money than us. They actually might start interacting. The order that they hit this is so important. SMC, that gives them the misdirection if they really need it. Earthrise, oh, that's a slow. Well, it's good in the late game. And here we're going SMCing out. That's a third Rizeki. Okay, so now they basically have 3 cards a turn. It's better than Scrubber, right? I think we're throwing out the closed accounts, which is really unfortunate. I guess we'll just cycle him back into our deck. I think that's one of our better cards. Just draw, advance, advance. Yeah, we could have done advance, preemptive. I think working around Beth, nice. I think that was definitely a clumsy turn that had a couple options. We want to trash this. They're going to have more money than us, and we haven't got a false lead yet. As soon as we get the false lead, obviously things get a lot better. We also need to score Bologna, and now we can't advance it here. It's so awkward that we put this in this remote. That might have been a huge fuck up. Akamatsu M-chip. 2. Hushik is kind of good to go. Luckily, we were drawing most of our agendas. We'll take the money, actually. Are you kidding me? Did we draw every agenda? 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14. It's like 3 agendas and 33 cards. That's nutty. Toss agenda? Yeah, we easily could toss agenda there and just go ahead and preemptive it. So they could steal Bologna. Oh, boom. Okay. They definitely want to trash that. Oh, they have Ma! Oh, the preemptive is going to be scary. Exploda. Yeah, we'll take the money. Thank you. It's very kind. So if they hit the preemptive, we're done. If they hit the preemptive, we lose the game. Like if they maw the preemptive. Because the only other card hitting here is preemptive. It's so bad. And they also got credit from Pad Tap. Isn't that cool? Ooh, Ma, that's good. That's a good tech against this. Ma and Shaper. Okay, if they hit this, we lose. Or we have to score, which we're kind of set up to do. They can steal Bologna. Hard hitting news, okay. They trash our Bologna. Okay, that's fine. This is acceptable. We don't need the money now. I'm actually not going to take it because it'll give him Beth. We'll lose the hard hitting news. I think we actually might want to throw the book at them. Oh, we should have taken the 3 credits. Yeah, we'll take the credits. We have to do 8, so we have to spend what on this? Oh no, but we have 2 terminals, so no, we can't do that. I guess we can draw once. And something that was probably wrong. Fortunately, they closed the accounts. Is going to stay in there for a bit. Ooh, this is bad. Price second R&D, it's okay. I think they're just going to like flush HQ out though. And we have to score this blown out to probably win the game. I think we just have to play with no cards in hand. So I think we're just going to lose this hard hitting news. I wonder what the breakers are. We know nothing. Except the false leads. Yeah, false lead now also wins the game if we score a 5-3. And then we can just leave Bologna here. This remote's so fucking weird. What do they think this is? It's been on the table. There's 3 in a remote. Like, my god. Is this per run or per card? First time you turn your access card, non-archives. Okay, so if they run this remote. Mamba Temple. Okay, so they can not trash that to get a... Okay, so we lost our hard hitting news, so we don't have punishment anymore. We have a Mamba Temple. Man, can we just slide this Raven over? Running R&D. Another Pad Tap. It's okay. It's not about money anymore. Caddy. Ooh, she's back. So they had 2 credits on top of our turn. 3 at the top of their turn. SSL. It gives them an extra click. I really don't see how we're going to capitalize on the SSL money. Ah, oh, fuck. The last one. It's unfortunate. I think we're just going to score this. Should we watch a match so far? I'm 3-2 against CTM. Oh, good game, by the way. All right. So we've seen a Palangi. So Obviously, Palangi's good. I don't think that's a hot take. But we don't know where the breakers are. Oh no, it's gonna get. It's not like we're gonna be able to get them. I don't think. I think we're gonna try and win. So this Bologna is Prisek into Bologna into Mumbad, plus this Trace, and they have one link. It's like, oh, we lost the CU as well, and here they can just like start trashing through things. Oh, we lost our recursion. Okay, so no more recursion. That's a Hushik. That's pretty good. It's gonna shuffle the deck now, so they're not gonna know what we draw. Data Raven, Daily Business Show, Breathneck, Hydra, Hard Eating News. Okay, so no agendas. Not a surprise. I think we'll take 3 because they're gonna get money off the pad taps anyways. I want to take it from this one. Doesn't matter. Do we just double advance this? Obviously a piece of ice would be sweet. Do we just double advance this? We have no punishment. But we could draw some. This is so fucked. We haven't seen a restricted card. They could be on Film Critic. Let's save them some money. Triple advance. You know, honestly, triple advance might be better because it's more suspicious. And CTM doesn't run NGO fronts, so, you know, this is weird. But now they actually have to run both of these, it looks like, right? Like, this looks like Beal or False Lead or whatever. And they have to deal with this. And they have 13 credits, and this is going to be, like, maybe 2 tags. And then they still have to clear the tags. It's not like we have exchange. Like, that's the thing. Some of the old CTM decks would win in a totally different way. A lot of them were on psychographics, market forces. A lot of them were on either quantum predictive or AR enhanced security. The Ghost Branch strategy. Yeah, that's the thing, Tokes. It does look like Ghost Branch if we triple advance it, but this Rashid is actually kind of important. Because if we can pull a hard-hitting news after they run this server and or this server, it could be pretty good for us. All right, they only have 4 clicks. We've been playing around Beth. We've been giving them cards, but now 5 clicks. 1 unknown card in hand. If they ever not trash a card they access. All right. We don't have to res any of this. So the order of access is kind of important. So Bologna, that's going to be 6 credits when they have 5 credits to steal. So the order really does matter. If we want them to hit the Mumbad Virtual Tour first. So the order of these 2 is really important. If they hit the other optimal order, they can trash Mumbad Virtual Tour. It'd be pretty bad. They can choose also not to steal this. Obviously we'd win if they don't. So they're down to 8. So now the order they access is super important. Fuck, they hit the price deck first. If they trash that, they won't have enough money to trash Mamba. So that's kind of the issue here. Oh, they didn't trash the Mamba, so we lost this. But this they have to trash. And now we can trace them so they can get a tag. We have to boost by 1. So now they have 2 tags and only 3 credits. I guess they could pull them in that direction and clear the tags, but right now Rashida has to draw hard any news. They also might want to charge server 5 to not lose the game, which means this Mamba won't fire, but they might actually take a tag on the Raven. Now we cannot kill them. All our tag punishment is in the bin. It's going to be really hard to close the game out. They're also on game point. Like another Hushik could just win. Unfortunately though, or fortunately, they couldn't steal a Bologna. The deck only has 2 Bolognas left. Or actually 1 Bologna, 1 SSL, and then all the false leads, and false leads don't do enough. Maybe we should just put a Junebug in the deck solely for the triple advance bluff. Running archives, that's fine. They're just seeing what they mod. Still 2 tags. Clicking 1 tag. Oh, they have a tag. They have a tag. And we can take this money because they're going to get money from Pat's up anyway. We can start trashing things, but again. Ooh, top of the deck. Can't steal Bologna. Okay. Oh, we needed that. Please. Are we going to trash Beth? Yeah, maybe. Damn it. All right, well, we're still in it, I guess. We could always win off of like burst draw, Lady Liberty. I don't know. We have the Ice R&D for sure. What's the best one here? I think it's actually, well, now we have a credit lead in theory. We still have to clear the tag. Oh, we can save the credit if we want to trash a pad tap. I think trashing Caddy might be a bit better. Or sorry, not Caddy, Beth. peace! Alright. They can't run. Clean the tag should be easy. Peace also fires pad tab, which is buck wild. This says anybody's ability, right? It just has to be on a card. I guess it was meant to play with Tycoon, right? Draw a card, draw a card. Oh, this could have been the winning agenda. Do we res this? Yeah, okay. They're getting the money anyways. DBS is hot shit. I don't know if we had trashed these, because they're making 3 a turn anyways. Yeah, whatever. They have pieces in their deck. It's really important that we keep this on the table, so I'm going to put it here. Boo. So now their economy actually might flounder a small bit. Obviously 3 credits a turn from Rizeki is like buckwild, and MU is getting a bit tight, but I guess they can always pop their SMC. But like that's all the pad taps out, so 3 Rizekis. I imagine they just have Gamble, Peace in Our Time, and Caddy. But now we actually can make more money than them. This is the sort of game where we put Roughneck in like Data Raven server and just click it. Even fucking on price tag might be good enough. Oh, Turning Wheel. Okay, we can lose the game to that. Again, Maw is a very real threat. Hit the Roughneck. I'd like to keep the Roughneck if we can choose. Thank you. Very kind. And they're just big on Turning Wheel counters, which makes a lot of sense. And again, we could be just sneaking out a false lead. Like, they're not checking our remotes, which is super, super brave. Alright. That's our win con. Drawing here is pretty scary. We'll draw once. There's very few agendas in the deck. That's good. We don't want to put that on HQ, right? Because they bounce off of it. But Double Raven remote seems okay. Fortunately, they're like straight up on game point. I think like they just win on a Hushuk. Like if they have a Hushuk, they win. We don't really have a game here. We have to choose to res. The awkward thing about this is we have to choose when to res it. Like unless we, I don't think we res this unless we have a Rashida. Angolo, restricted card. Here we go. Accounts. They're fucking stim hacking this remote. Enjoy the Ravens, my friend. Into Mumbad. This is gonna be good. And they need to run this. This does look like a play. So here it's a tag or the end of the run. What do they want? Taking a tag. Oh, that almost went up my nose. So they can trace this. Or they can Golo it. But they're probably going to walk away here with 3 tags. Palangi. Okay, cool. So at 1 SMC down, that's actually important for misdirection to count how many of these are hit. But it's not like it matters. We don't have punishment. Alright. 2, it increases strength. 1, to break subroutine. They use the Palangi. We'll do a Raven Reser. Excuse me. Second Raven. Oh, some tags. I don't know why they're not just setting up for a Hushuk. Getting a Bologna in this remote also would be pretty sweet at some point. But we have no more. Oh, we have one more. Excuse me. Could have misdirectioned out. We got right here. It's still GG just so they go in, right? So again, taking a lot of tags at once is not that bad for Shaper that has misdirection, but they got a Palangi instead of misdirection. Martini, what's up? How's it going? Ngolo making this a code gate? They're gonna have to break this the expensive way. So it's like what, 6 credits? 5 credits. Still pretty good. And just, you know, fun stuff in here. We can jam every turn. So that's Lady Liberty. They don't actually need to trash this, right? Like the Maw pressure means Lady Liberty's kind of bad. Oh, they are. Okay, great. Okay. So they could boost into this if we pay for the thing. Okay, so they're gonna. So if we pay like, I don't know, 9 credits. No, wait, we want to not pay them. We want them to hit this. That's more important. So if we pay like, I don't know, 2, then they pay, they have 1 link, they pay 5. It's perfect. They can overpay to dodge this. It's really suspicious. Whatever. Maybe we should. I think if we boost though, they should boost one over so they don't have to trash. Like this is this chance. This is the exact spot where if we boost it to 6, they should actually overpay for the trace so that they don't have to trash a Mumbed Virtual Tour. Like it's cheaper for them to overboost this trace. Like already 3 to not spend a click removing a tag is fine because you can click for a credit. Paying 3 to not take the tag here is, unless you're doing something this turn, it's fine. Benoit, dang, I have no idea what these cards are. Yo, nice Metropole Grid logo. How's it going? You know most of these cards. I don't think any of these cards are new. Maybe this one. They're thinking. Again, they boost into this. It's pretty good. Oh, they took the tag. All right. Great. So they're going to have to trash the Mumbed Virtual Tour. They're down to 5 credits, 3 tags. They can't clear all of these. Green circle? Yeah, next to your name, there's an icon. It's the same icon I have. It's the channel. Yeah, the green circle. All right. So they could like go straight in here. They have the Ngolo. They've actually used its ability and they've used Palangi, so they can't actually break this if they want to just do like Panic Hushuk. We have no way to punish this. Again, like it's hard because they have Maw and Maw is really good. But like this is the kind of situation where a lot of times they could die. Trash the turning wheel? Yeah, we definitely have to trash a lot of this stuff. Trashing the turning wheel is also doubly good on the basis that it removes the amount of cards they have for Hushuk. So like just trashing both of these is probably fine. Even trashing this is fine. Is this a kill deck? Yeah, it is. It is a false lead boom deck, which I think are really good. Yeah, Timmy, I think trashing both of these is right. I think they know that we don't have punishment. Unless. Now the amount of tags actually isn't that important. We have no way to punish tags. So again, this might sound crazy, but I'm going to trash the caddy. Just so they have less cards for Hushuk. Take that, Maw. So Rozeki gaining 3. They could clear the tags. They didn't die this turn, but again, they saw the 1 card in their hand, so they knew they didn't have to clear the tags. There was no like potent punishment. Purging honestly actually wasn't the worst thing, but I guess they could always just use Cabinet's ability. Oh, they can't actually pull a Palangi because it's a virus. Huh, cool. This only pulls non-viruses. So in theory, we could have purged. Otherwise, like there's a chance they just went on a Hushuk of, again, Hushuk only sees 3 cards. Still, Maker's Eye is not bad. They have to consider running this remote. Ubi, what's up? Always look forward to Thursday, strictly because of the stream. Cheers. Oh, that's so nice to hear. Glad you're enjoying it. Honestly, the exact same for me. I'm always so jazzed for Thursdays. Friday comes live for me. Hey, what's up? Eastern Hemisphere. All right, they're thinking about 1 click left. Could be the false lead. It's a Simon chip. Great. So what can we get on this remote? Hydra would be cool. Enigma doesn't matter. And they're using that to bring the SMC down. They're using the SMC for misdirection. Why are they doing all of that? This also could lose us the game, right? Because we could draw multiple agendas. Speaking of multiple agendas. Eek. Alright, well this one's harder to steal. Or score. Are you fucking kidding me? What do we do here? Oh, we gotta play quickly. That can't be a good turn, but if we thought about it, it looked like we had agendas. Can you still do the thing where you press a button and the light changes? What, this thing? Yeah. This is presets though. I can set up a couple. I think I like this one the best by far. Play falsely naked? I think so. We drew all our agendas that turn. There are no more agendas. We know one's on the bottom of R&D and that's it. Now I'm hoping that they throw this into the bin. Obviously if they run HQ they win. But I don't think they run HQ when we kept 1 card. And they might actually think of just clearing the tags. Are you kidding me? Holy shit! Yeah, of course they're gonna misdirection. I guess we'll just res things. This now it's like a roller coaster. Like, oh, we made it. We did it. We survived. I'm kidding. No, you didn't. It's just here. The only card in HQ that turn was an agenda. Drew 4 that turn. All of them. They never respected the false lead. Yeah, they didn't. There was a bunch of turns we could have scored a false lead. A lot. Maybe they thought because we played so many 5-3s that they were mostly on 5-3s. Because they only saw one false lead. And maybe they did the math where like we were running, what is it, 12 points of 3-pointers and then like exploders or stuff. Hey, choose. Yeah, right? Yeah, and again, that shows like perfectly why CU is amazing. It can put a whole game on its head. Out of nowhere, right? Like you sit back, you're getting ready, and you trash. Like, how many resources did we trash? A lot. A lot. Well, they trashed Boom, ran Central, still false lead, ran Mr. still lost. Exactly, yeah. Like, this deck still has a couple ways out. Now, Maw, obviously not that common, very strong card against this deck. And we're going to start talking about cards that are good against this deck. But, like, yeah, Maw's great. And they did do the thing that is really hard to do. They trashed our Boom, and we went through all our recursion cards, which is pretty great. What do you think about reverse accounts? I don't like it. Okay, let's talk about that. So reversed accounts, I'm not a big fan. And why? It's because it's a card that you spend time and money in the game to force them to lose money. Now there's some unpredictability with it because if they sit back sometimes and they ran, you could be like res reversed go and then like hit them with what's it called? Hard hitting news, and that's cool because they might not have money to clear the tags, and sure, you can win off of that. But a big thing about this deck, let's see if we have the deck list open. This is largely it. We changed like 2 cards. A big thing about this deck, also I don't like the IP blocks, right? Like they were on centrals and they could always get through them. I think Enigma's right. Excuse me. A big thing about this deck is all the cards that we run put us ahead and they have to trash them anyways, which puts them behind, similar to reversed accounts. Like, it's not the sort of deck where we're generally sitting and clicking for 2 credits or 3 credits. Like, we're generally installing something. And a lot of the times, like, it's a Mumbed Virtual Tour, or it's a Mumbed Temple, or it's a Daily Business Show. And a lot of times, them having to interact with us is better for us, and it puts them that far behind. I don't know. I don't think I'm the biggest fan. It seems better in a deck that has, like, 2-3 ice on a remote and does install advanced better. Like, it feels like NGO front. And like NGO front, you could kind of argue with that. Like it's good in a deck, it forces them to run, and then you get money, and then they can't do any. Like then they're hard and usable. Same with reversed accounts, but it doesn't encourage a run. But I don't know. It feels like it'd be worth more if they spend more money getting it. Like we can't protect it that well. I guess double Raven is kind of the good idea. How's it going CTM this week? P a couple weeks ago. What's happening? P, there's something wrong with P. Today, specifically, I wanted to talk about this because I've got a lot of questions recently about people struggling against CTM. You make Thursday great. Thank you, bottom heart, gold farmer over IP. Also, hello. Yeah, jogging. Thank you. Yeah, when I was trying this deck, I tried both gold farmer, resistor, and IP block. I think one Enigma is definitely a good start, and I think I might actually like. It depends on how much AI you have, and we don't have AI hate, and generally Amakua just eats this deck because everything's open. But I could see gold farmer being better. It's just like a taxing piece of ice. You really can't get enough. Thank you. One boom is fine with consulting. Only 7 ice. I thought 9 was more common. There's a chance. I don't know. Good game. Oh man, only 1 boom. Hey, Cody, I missed that. Yeah, good game. Yeah, you had all. I had no more tag punishment. You got all the preemptives. I played 2. 1 was out. You got the boom and the close accounts out. There was no tag punishment whatsoever. The misdirection didn't matter. It was great. And then admittedly, there was a couple turns where like we could have scored a false lead out because you were checking nothing. But that was a weird game though. Like we were scoring a naked Bologna, which couldn't have been correct. I think, Cody, there was a chance when you ran the remote and we were thinking about boosting the trace behind a double Raven when you ran to trash the Liberty. I think spending money, actually, maybe not, because you do have misdirection. Taking multiple tags isn't that bad. But like boosting it to the trace there might have been right. All right, so we didn't see the combo fire that consistent. Actually, we did. Maybe in 2 games we did. But that whole idea that we've been talking about all night tonight is false lead into what's it called? Into Muppet Virtual Tour, and that's hard to deal with. A lot of people can't deal with that, and we've actually seen some really cool tech cards from a lot of the decks we played against that were like really prepared to capitalize on some of the weaknesses of this deck, and that's important. Now specifically for this interaction, which I think can exist in Gagarin, can exist in any Wayland deck and any NBN deck, these are very easy cards to import. Boom is only 3 influence. I've been poor facing CTM yet, Giles. A lot of people do, unfortunately. What can we do about it? And I want to know for those in chat or in the comments. Oh, apologies, I didn't answer YouTube comments for last week because I got home like 3 minutes before the stream started. I'll do that. There's only like very narrow cards that deal with that specific combo, and that combo doesn't fire every game, but I reckon it can fire most of them. So what are those cards? There's not a lot. There's really not a lot. I think by far the best is No One Home. I think No One Home is super underrated. It has like no real cost of including this in your deck besides maybe you want to influence out of faction, which is not a lot, but you play this for nothing. It is a virtual, which actually can be good in some Anarch decks that are trying to get enough virtuals. Not that that's a struggle, but is a trace 0. And it basically means if somebody tries to hard-hitting news you, or sometimes even you get like that click 2 tag that you weren't expecting, and then they can false lead away the rest of your turn. This can save you. Now, this doesn't mean you can't get traced, but it does mean that they have to basically beat your money twice on a hard-hitting news, which can be pretty difficult. I think this card's really, really good, and on top of that, it's just fine in other matchups that do net damage, which is fantastic. WoW on One Worlds? Wait, what? You click on, I made it to the other show. Hello, guys. How's it going? I think this card is sweet, and I think this is the easiest thing to put into any deck just to help against not only CTM, but anything that's hard to use you. And again, sometimes you just don't die to, oh, I was playing this weekend, and Maddie set up this really good kill that involved her, like, she left, what's it called on the table? Philotic Entanglement on the table, and she was going to score it to do 3 damage plus PE, and then No One Home, and she totally forgot. It was great. No One Home won Worlds? Did it actually? Last year? Underrated fuck. I think this card's super underrated. I think this is the easiest thing to put into your deck. Other things, these get really niche. Of course, that wasn't gonna work. This is the only other card that actually works with that specific combo on the Lamb. Now, this is 2 influence. It's expensive. It's a pretty good effect, though. It's actually very comparable. You're still going to take 1 tag. So against double false lead, which again, at that point, you have an issue anyways. This is really good. And then the only other card, is there any other card that, oh yeah, Misdirection. That's basically it. These are the 3, and Misdirection needs to be able to be got clicklessly. Joe is on it at Mopus. Fuck yeah. Okay. Yeah, let's see actually if we can search it up. Are we on Chrome? No, that's not gonna work. Deck lists, sets, search, sorry. No one home, by number, like, search. Yeah. Cool. Yeah, he figured it out. It's really good. It's a really, really good card. I think that's all. Is there anything else that interacts with that combo? Like the other things interact with the combo, I think, in compelling ways. Like on top of that, we have like just meat damage protection, and there's not a lot of meat damage protection in this game that's really good anymore. We have Citadel Sanctuary, and the problem is with Citadel is that if you're tagged, they can't trash this. Now that ensures, or that means that they need to have Boom in hand, just because they can't Consulting Visit, because that's 3 clicks, if I'm not mistaken. So they have to trash this first. Some people forget this exists. This is also just a fine card. If you that like false lead, so you keep a tag when you run click 2 or whatever, this can fix it, which is kind of really cool. I don't think there's a lot of other meat damage protection. You have your Rogniv Mercs, which is, it protects what, 4 meat damage? This is actually not bad. If you're tagged, they can trash it, but they also have to trash all your other resources first. This is not the worst. Now this basically costs 2 clicks and 1 credit. Sorry, 2 clicks and 2 credits to install if you want to clear the tag. I don't think tag me archetypes are really that great right now, but this is honestly not the worst thing. It's also like fine against other meat damage, but it's like so much more narrow that I would so rather play No One Home over this any day of the week. Other hand size stuff, Sacrificial Clone. Okay, yeah, I guess so. This card's so fun, but I don't actually know what the text on this is. I guess you live, but they can just trash this before. This doesn't do anything. You also have other hand size stuff. You could just have full hand. That's the thing, is you need to have full hand, and then still you might have a tag issue, but you could. This gives you 7 hand size. On top of that, Obelisk, you could just start drawing up with Obelisk. That's actually pretty fun. This card's probably underrated. Aaron Moran, unfortunately, doesn't do it. They're not in standard, by the way. Sports Hopper, that's an okay one. Sports Hopper is not it's actually like not the worst of the matchup. 3 credits is a lot, but it does give you a link, which helps against most of their ice and trashing things with the CTM trace, and click to draw 3 cards. Now, only very narrow decks can play this very easily, just because most decks have better ways to draw cards, and this effect is not that necessary. A lot of times I've seen this in like Sunny decks or Geist decks, but not much further than that. I've been trying to get on my way to play noobs on JNet lately. I'm patient and try to help them as much as possible. I'm really looking forward to System Gateway. I'm so excited for System Gateway. I hope we hear news about it soon. Brain Chip, okay, but that's influence, and I don't know about that. That's largely it. And I was meant to make like a presentation, but again, I came home 3 minutes before the stream started of cards that are just good in the matchup. And I feel like in basically any faction, I think I struggle with a bit with Shaper, but there's things that you can add to your deck just to help the matchup. In Anarch, bad publicity is good. A lot of these decks don't run Sure Gamble. Some of the ones at Worlds last year did, but just getting off an early mining accident is kind of like the biggest deal. Just because of having 1 or even 2 bad pub, maybe 3, I don't know, you can play Val, is a really big deal because it's like pseudo link. It lets you trash 2 things a turn, and that's a really big thing against controlling the message. Controlling the message fires only the first time you trash a thing, so a lot of times you can, if you can, and you have the money to not be scared of hard hitting news after it, you want to trash 2 things a turn because it's the cheapest. Also, this fires on ice destruction, so if you're setting up your sweet chisel on a gold farmer, maybe get that all to happen in 1 turn. I think that's pretty great. Got another comment for Brain Chip. Yeah, Brain Chip's hard to play, huh? Anyways, mining accident helps a lot. In Anarch, you have other things like Scrubber, which is in the system core, and it's really, really good. You basically get your credits back. It's 1 influence the turn. As long as you use it, you lose the click and the card, but that's pretty great. And there's some other good stuff. Salset Slums is like such an underrated card, and I don't think underrated is the right word. It's not that universally good. Recursion is nowhere near as abused as it used to be, and it's also important to know that they eroded the text on this. Classically, the text on the original Salset Slums it would remove a card from the game, so controlling the message's trace wouldn't fire, but then it would actually replace the first trash of the turn, so controlling the message wouldn't fire at any other point in that game. Now, Salset Slums is way more important when cards like Friends in High Places existed, where recursion was so prevalent. Oh my god, imagine playing CTM with Friends in High Places. 1 MG, 1 more game. Oh, we'll do it. We'll do 1 more game. But yeah, this is abstractly okay. It does help. You can trash things once a turn without CTM firing. It's actually okay in other matchups too. There's not that much recursion going on though. What else is there? There's probably a fair bit of stuff. We saw one of the hardest ones to get down and have good economy, but when it gets up, it's really good, is a Maw. And I played at 1 Worlds with a Maw deck that ran Obelisk, and that was, sorry, a Maw deck that ran Magnum Opus. And that was a really big deal because against CTM, I would just like run amok for my Magnum Opus and then just click that and then keep mawing them, and that would work. Criminal, you saw actually a lot of it in the game we played against Marc-Andre. They had a skull as a logo. You have cards like Paragon, which are good. Things are open. Amakua gets counters really easily. You have cards like Security Testing that can ensure once a turn you'll get 2 to 3 credits for a run, which is really good for credit economy to allow you to keep up. Find the Truth is something we saw in that matchup too, which is pretty sweet. And also things like DreamNet, which are good. This is fine. This is good. MM runs Restore for base shenanigans. Yeah, Mirror Morph. What's up, Corey? Yeah, there are some decks. I think there are some Restore decks that are recurring, like MCA Informants and base and stuff like that. Invader, Kasi String. So I actually think Kasi String is exactly what you don't want. Right? Like Kasi String was a card that came out when Asset Spam was a really big, well, actually no, this was after that. But this is the sort of card, and that's the thing about like Asset decks a lot of the times, is a lot of Asset decks, one of the best things you can do isn't to rush out to 7 points. And this is a card that you have to install. It's really easy to get this as an agenda point, but a lot of times if you're not interacting and trashing their things, which requires both a good economy and the ability to set up the things and draw the things you need efficiently, this is not going to win you the game. This card I've actually never seen get play, just because in any matchup where it's really easy to fire, you're going to lose the game unless you're keeping up with them. And this doesn't help you keep up with them because you're not actually trashing things. It's weird how Aeneas Informant, which is actually okay in the matchup, it lets you check things and not trash things, and these are actually really cheap to get down. These are a bit better, but a lot of times you don't win the game by getting to 6 points and losing. Well, sometimes you do, but at that point you're probably tagged. I don't know. What about Hijacked Router? Daniel, what's up? It's actually a card I haven't had a lot of experience with, but I saw a lot of people actually playing this in their Worlds decks in 2018. Just against people were playing Asset Spam CI, people were playing Asset Spam Industrial Genomics. Another Jiteki ID was doing it too. They were playing Asset Spam in, what's it called? The good one that was banned, Mati. There was a lot of good reasons to run this. I could see it. I just think this card is not universally good in every deck. Now, I think a lot of the UK players felt a lot better about this, and there's some cool deck lists where people say like it was the right choice, or I would rather have this out of the deck. But this definitely could do something. The thing is, like, if I'm not playing Scrubber in my deck, would I want a Scrubber before this? Probably. But yeah, 50 cards sometimes. Router is good, as Jogging says. I haven't played enough with it. It probably is. This ability is fine. Kossy's a bit better against this particular deck because of the Agenda Suite. No, you're right. Actually, Epstein Truther. Against that deck is a bit better because they run 3-pointers. But it's hard. Like getting 2-3. It's hard to get the 3-pointers in the deck, anyways. I mean, lose 3, right? Yeah, losing 3 is fine. Lose 3, run Stim Hack. On that note, Stim Hack is such a card. And like we saw a lot of times in the matchups today, people were using Stim Hack to actually contest the remote to get in through ice. But like even Stim Hacking turn 2, just to be able to get a daily business showdown early or trash, I don't know, maybe a Lady Liberty, something that's like kind of a big deal. And then you basically do that and break the trace for free. And then from that point on, controlling the message is already fired that turn. So you might be able to trash another thing. That's really important. There's also Dirty Laundry, which is kind of super, super good. Like, mulliganing into this probably isn't right. A lot of times you want to mulligan into a gamble or something that allows you to get money. But in a lot of those matchups, which is buck wild, Dirty Laundry, I would rather keep in my opening hand than gamble a lot of the time. And that's the big thing, is that this deck, a second window, has Mumbed Virtual Tour. And a lot of times they'll install this naked turn 1 next to like a Rashida and maybe an Agenda, classically an AR enhanced security. But the idea is if you run this, click 1 and lose all your money, you take the tag, you can't clear the tag. All that stuff is such a big problem. And Dirty Laundry lets you check the remote, click 1, click 2 with only 3 credits, so you're safe to that shit, which is really, really important. And talking about taking a tag, actually, a lot of the best things you can do, and it depends on the decks, and this deck only runs 1 card for punishment of a single tag, and unfortunately it can tutor with a Consulting Visit. A lot of times floating 1 tag isn't the worst thing. And that's because NBN doesn't have many compelling ways to punish 1 tag in the early game besides trashing resources, which you might not have on turn 1, or close accounts, which is admittedly pretty brutal. But that's the thing, is like turn 1, if I'd rather end my turn at like 5 credits, which might be able to defend a hard-hitting news, or end at 3 credits, but the one, I fucked it up. When I have 5 credits, I have a tag. Excuse me. I can end my turn with 6 credits. If my last click I don't remove a tag and I click for credit. Or I can end my turn at 3 credits. The 3 credits is a lot worse, because then you can get hard-hitting news and buried. Maybe 6 credits is enough to dodge the trace. Point being is that sometimes it's better to float a single tag in the early game if you don't have important resources than anything else, because single tag punishment is not that big in the game, unless maybe you stole a 3-pointer and they have a 1-pointer and you're worried about exchange, but that'd be later on in the game. Kenny says CTM is fine with 3 stim hacks and DL. Damon did good. ASI. Jogging, what are you saying? What's DL? I don't know. There's probably a lot more cards. Even cards like Deuce's Wild sometimes are good. The ability to like do something while removing a tag, that can be fine. But in terms of like hot tech cards, one of the best things you can do is ensure your deck has enough economy, because you're going to have to trash things a lot of the times. You're just going to have to make sure their money is down, and that's a really big thing. Oh, Hacktivist, by the way, is fucking sweet. Watch him sweat. Oh, Dirty Laundry? Yeah. Stim Hack and Dirty Laundry is good. Man, the amount of time you can talk about CTM is crazy. Like knowing when to trash, what to trash. And like, I'm not even playing it properly. I've had the pleasure of commentating high-level CTM games. I've talked to a lot of people about it. About like the cool things, like a lot of the exciting games, especially at Worlds like 2 years ago when CTM was kind of all over. You saw a lot of the games where like players were playing the deck perfectly, and a lot of times the runner would have to go tag me in the last 2 or 3 turns, and they'd usually be at 5-6 points, and then it was always this like tension of finding that last agenda before they cycle build out or exchange of information or whatever. So it's interesting. It's really cool. Oh yeah, Ubi, that's a huge one. Oh, Invader, you're saying Apocalypse, they have so little ice? Yeah, Apocalypse is pretty good. You only take 1 tag when everything gets trashed, which isn't so bad. But yeah, Apocalypse is pretty strong. And on top of that, Freedom Kamalo. I totally forget how good Freedom Kamalo is against this whole archetype. Like, you notice almost everything they run is like really low trash cost. Even if you have no viruses, you can trash, what's it called, for free. Mumbed Virtual Tour, and that's a really, really big deal. I think Freedom's sweet, and a lot of the Val decks will run Rebirth, and I think it's proper to Rebirth into Freedom. And even if you're just running Data Sucker, there's enough zero cost stuff in that deck to trash it. But I think that's where we go. When to go tag me in CTM 101? Yeah, it's really fun to watch that shit. Paragon good tech? Yeah, Paragon's good. What about the console of Geist? So Geist technically has the only other card that lets you remove a tag clicklessly. The problem is, like, if you're not playing Geist, and most Geist decks don't even play this, I wouldn't play this. It's just not good enough. And the thing is, like, in Criminal, you could run Paragon, which is probably the only other console that gets like consistent play, and that's better in the matchup than this. Like, you're probably better off just running a 2 no one homes, 1 no one home, and you're way better than this card, unfortunately. But so is unknown. It's 391 plus. All right, I'm definitely forgetting some stuff. I don't have a lot to say for Shaper. Shaper had like early, what's it called, Astrolabes and Parisias, and none of that actually exists anymore. So the best things they can do is splash cards, plus like just get R&D. Like, they have enough cool multi-access with cards like Hushuk, and they can't really stop Hushuk. That you can kind of try and win off of that. Makes you miss paper tripping? Not really. Did this rotate? Oh yeah, it did rotate. Yeah, paper tripping is not a very good card. I've actually played against this in Worlds, and it was like stunning when the runner played against it, and I think they won the game because of it. But yeah, I don't know. Misdirection didn't exist right now, so that makes sense. Shaper Omega Lol. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. I think Shaper is one of our better matchups, admittedly, just because they don't have anything that's like run based or that's aggressive. Their economy is a lot of times tied up in resources, which we can threaten with certain things, like CU and friends. But yeah, I think Criminal and Anarch are a bit harder. Anarch is good. Criminal can put on that central pressure, like the early diversions and bezels, stuff like that are really strong. And I think Anarch is probably the most likely to play Apocalypse. Yeah. All right, I kind of wanted to build a deck that like was good against CTM, just abstractly good against CTM. I guess we're just gonna build a good Val deck. That's exciting. Welcome to the stream where we play Val and CTM. What's up, 2016 to 2018? What's new Val look like? Apex also likes to play Apocalypse a lot. Yeah, okay. I wonder how the Adam matchup is. I imagine it's brutal. But Apex actually like really struggles with the deck on the basis that most of the ice doesn't have end runs on it. Oh yeah, Sunny. That's definitely worth saying. I honestly, one of the decks I might consider playing most likely. By the way, there's a GNK on Saturday in Montreal. Is Sunny, just because Sunny is pretty good at dealing with CTM and can be good at asset spam decks, but it's also pretty good against Glacier stuff. And I think that's really cool. Sunny's 2-link helps with the CTM trace, helps with a lot of the ice. She can set up a lot of the early drip. You're going to have to be pretty aggressive, and you might need to play cards like Peace in Our Time and Stimhack, stuff like that for sure. I should back to Hashiko slightly better versus CTM than Val. I don't know about that, but I have enjoyed playing Hashiko against CTM. Just getting that clickless card draw is huge. Gotta make something exciting because I got a Hypercube to prepare for Saturday. Ooh. Are you drafting, or it's like a cube? Like you draft from the cube. I don't know what Hypercube is. That should be obvious at this point. I managed to get 3 data folding on turn 1 at Pod Road this week. Holy shit. With Sunny. I guess you like what? You got those with Gacha? Why Grubk? Just because you reliably draw your econ. Yeah, okay, that makes sense a lot for Hashiko. Yeah, I'd probably play Hashiko or Sunny. Again, I think Sunny's pretty cool. Sunny also has Jackson Clare, which helps check remotes. I don't know what else you run in the Sunny deck. Is 2-link even that good against the deck? Yeah, it's fine. Gachapon, 2x Gachapon, 1 in hand. Hell yeah, you dug for those. All right, well, yeah, we can play Val. Well, let's play Hashiko. Hashiko's more interesting. Oh, we can just play this deck, right? Holy shit, can we just play this deck? Oh, Employee Strike. You know what was used to be good against CTM? Employee Strike. Go Crim. White Hack, Black Hack. White Hat. Oh, White Hat's actually really good, you're right. Deck building done feels good, man. Yeah, against like Criminal, I don't know. Like Criminal is, you just play good economy. Pat Tap, mind you, is really good against it. We did mention that. Pat Tap is just good because they have to trash it. Slows them down. Fuck. Okay, what are we doing? Chat, we doing Hashiko or we doing Val? No one's gonna vote for Val, right? I'll wait a second for chat delay. How long is the chat? Yoshiko, of course. Yeah, right? Of course. Apex is interesting. It's so hard to put economy in Apex. Alright, we'll do Hoshiko. Hoshiko. I mean, not literally. Ed Kim Demolisher. Yo, actually, Ed Kim is really bad in the matchup. That was something that people were realizing, and I remember reading Declan write-ups of people who would like rebirth into Ed Kim when playing Valencia back in the day because they thought they would get the link, and then that would be good because they could trash hard any news. But the problem is back in the day, a lot of those decks would running AR enhanced security, and AR enhanced security says the first time you trash a card, take a tag. So Edward Kim would run a central server and trash an event or an operation, excuse me, and then get a tag, and it's brutal. It's really hard to run. Freedom Virus Farmer. Yeah, Freedom Virus Farmer is actually probably be good, but it's going to be harder to build a deck list in less than 10 minutes. So I think I'm going to try for sure. Ning Sunny? Sunny. Yeah, I think we're going to do Hashiko to start. And then from then on. That's the problem though. All these deck lists are like the same. They're the same. Daily Cast. Okay, so what do we play? Like, what's the core of every single... that's every Anarch deck, right? Stim Hack. I think we could play Hacktivist. I don't know if we need to play 3. But for Stim Hack, Frob, Color, Jogging. You doing voice to chat, but you're like in a pool? Scrubber, yeah, Scrubber we could play. I think Scrubber might be a bit overkill, so we'll play 2. But yeah, it's probably an okay place to start. We want some card draw. I think Arvred worse. Obviously, the meat damage could fire. What else is okay? Mining Accident is maybe a bit overkill. We have a lot of like affordability. Console's interesting, and I think that's a problem with Anarch right now. Is I don't see any really strong reason to run any other console besides Keiko, especially because we're running Puemo. Ma is reason, but you need more money. When are they gonna ban all currents soon, right? Baza, I really hope so. Because I was thinking about that recently, and like the amount of currents that people have, it's so buck wild. Like I'm thinking, do I ever want to play Geist with like you know, all the resources like I used to? And it's like you can't, because you can't run any current. There's no criminal currents, so you have to run neutral currents. What? So it sounds like you called Mighty Axe an overkill. Yo, what up, Rob? Yeah, okay. 419, right? Yeah, I guess it's never overkill. It's never overkill. 3 is a lot of card slots. That might be enough events. So we have Keiko. Ice Destruction is okay against CTM. Unfortunately, tags are kind of a problem. Get some Career Fair in there. We might. We haven't spent any influence, but it's not a bad way to spend influence. Or hear me out. Or hear me out here. You could play by any means a marathon. Oh, man. We have a iPad where it's really set up for that, right? Don't want to run currents, but other people run currents, so I need currency. Exactly, right? Like, we get absolutely hosed by scarcity. Okay, so what else is good? How good is Gachapon? Probably pretty good. Yeah, that's probably fine. Do we need to play hippos or anything? There's an argument to play hippo, right? 3x Dan? Like deuces? Yeah, DreamNet. I think we definitely play DreamNet. I don't know whether to play 1 or 2 DreamNet. Like, in theory, Gachapon finds it. The second one's obviously a dead card, but it's so good when you find it. Oh, we're spending no influence. How the fuck do you spend influence in this deck? We could play Paperclip. I don't see why not. Blorchestra. We're building the most middle-of-the-road vanilla deck. Stargate. Wow. 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 Cut Scrubber? Because we have DreamNet? No, we'll play 1 Scrubber. I want to try Scrubber. How do you spend influence? What is influence for? What's like the spiciest thing? We can build a pretty good deck with just all Anarch and white. They'll never see it coming. Where is it? What do we spend it on? D99. Man, I want to play more of this card. I always forget it exists. It's really good. 3x Bravado. Bravado isn't that good against CTM. I'm actually not in love with Bravado for how much influence it costs. Turning Wheel. We have Stargate. I could see running 2 Turning Wheel. It's also virtual, which means we can tutor it. Wow, okay. So what's a 12 influence card? What are we doing? Play some Fear the Masses? It's too many card slots. You have to build around that. 1x Archivist to boost Link and maybe get a bad pub? Honestly, Archivist is like a fine card. It might be actually better than Scrubber. Okay. 3 account siphon, the new one. I don't actually think the new account siphon is that good, let alone worth trashing. Ngolo? Or worth splashing? It doesn't do enough. No One Home? Oh yeah, we said we played No One Home. That's kind of the point of this. By the way, can someone queue up CTM so we can play against them? I know this might be a bit of a loaded thing, but I just kind of want to see what it looks like. This is virtual too, so we can tutor it. Wow, wow. Not enough drug dealers. We don't need it. We have Hoshiko. If we were Val, maybe. All right, like what's the best economy card? I guess we could play pad taps, but there's so many cards to install now. No one home, homeless alone. Press the card names. Class act. Oh my god. Fuck it. It's a good card. Pad tap. Yeah, it's just slots, right? Fenris? I don't know if there's that many good Fenris targets. Like, what could we do? Los is like mediocre, not against CTM. Los is fine, just not against CTM, and you need to draw it early. None of the shapers are very good for us. Misdirection? We hopefully will be okay. +1 find the truth. Fortunately, we used all our influence on this shit. I'm actually really excited for this. This honestly doesn't seem the worst. Class act is really good. Tutor Mist with Gacha? You could. Mystic? Mystic Miami is turning out to be one of my least favorite, what's it called? Of these things, the virtual companions. We don't have enough events for this to even be good. Rizeki? I don't like it. MU is gonna be an issue. We get Rizeki. Fox? Endless Hunger? Find the Truth honestly isn't the worst. But I don't know. I think we just need to cut cards. What do we cut? Street Peddler better than Gacha here? If we do Street Peddler, I don't know. I think Gachapon's actually pretty good. I think Gachapon's really good. What are the Gachapon targets? All the programs, and we have a lot of rituals. We have DreamNet, No One Home, Poemo, Turning Wheel. Fox use Icebreakers. Oh, Taka? It's not better than anything else. Is this a deck? So, like, what does Street Peddler get us? Obviously, the vents are fucked, but it installs for one less. So, Street Peddler is good if you want to play more expensive stuff. Like, we could drop Keiko and play a Maw, and then you could, like, stim hack a Maw out. That's, like, pretty sweet. By any means, do it. Nah, it doesn't make sense. This draw is fine, but, like, 48 cards. What do we cut? A Class Act is hard to get done early. So, say we Gachapon here. If we Street Peddlered, we would get DreamNet, Daily Cast, Laundry. That's fine. But if we Gachapon, we get DreamNet down for 1. We remove a Hippo from the game, which we don't want, and we remove it like an I've had worse. Like, that's fine. Tube table. Pedal for any installable. Yo, what's up, Terrence? Cut a DreamNet? It's so good. Right? You're right, it's a unique card. Like, getting... It's so good, though. It's like fucking... It's Wildside. Oh, man, that's a hand. That's such a hand. You've seen a hand before? Probably is the weakest card in the deck is the Archivist. Fuck it, I like the Archivist. I wish this was on Stolen, too. Initiative or Security? Is False Lead any of those? I don't know. You're gonna rock by Scarcity now? Yeah, we are. Don't worry, we got 2 Mining Accident. So what we do this turn hand, we would like Dirty Laundry. We'd be at 3 cards. I think we just do like Credit Class Act, draw 5. We would bottom probably the Archivist. I don't know. Man, Class Act's a good card. How fast do you need to go? Do you need laundries? Yeah, I think so. Hashiko likes laundries because you want to access. All right. Yeah. Okay, we'll cut one of these begrudgingly. 47. Wow, good enough. Wow, not Val. Could just play 50 cards, play Val. Okay, it's 11:07. Somebody want to play CTM, or are we just gonna queue against anybody? Where are we? One of these has JNet. Oh, thanks, Rob. A new runner deck. It's Val, JK, Hoshiko, Shiro. 47 is obviously wrong, but false lead is security. Hell yeah. That bad pump's gonna matter when we die. Archivist is good. Link, yeah, it is good. It's just like not every matchup. All right, opening hand, money, card draw, money. Thanks, you too. So we can do gamble, cast, class act. Hopefully they don't jam a lot of stuff turn one because we can't interact with it. Might as well be Val. Yeah, I know. All right, so this could go terribly. All right, we don't have the best hand for interacting. We could always check one of them and hope it's a false lead. But I think we're probably better off setting up. Unfortunately, the class act is like kind of rough here. Okay, we're gonna risk it. That's fine. We get 1 credit in a card, so we're a bit harder to trash. Jeeves. Okay, so this is a different list. This is probably the MCA austerity one. All right, so we flip credit card. Also, we get the link, which is really good when we flip. So we can get 2 link if we get the down. 1 credit for 1 link is pretty good. Then you get bad pub. Quite often you get 1 bad. Oh yeah, totally. I get it. So it's DBS, Jeeves DBS. Not the best opening for them. Did they mulligan? No, they kept. Ooh, that's harder for us. Oh, Dirty Laundry is good. We can laundry one of them. Virtual Tour obviously is an issue. And it'd be a nice time to get down class act. That's a team sponsorship. Kind of scary. We want to check server 4 so they don't sneak something out. It's a Maryland. We don't really want to trash. We could just credit. We have so much of an econ lead. We could also run HQ. I think we can just run HQ. And then class act. Now running HQ gets a lot worse here. Oh, that's bad. On the basis that they filtered their draw pretty elegantly. Oh, that's good. Oh, that's good. Double DBS. They're going to have no money. Hashiko looks like a young Val. Maybe your daughter? No, not at all. There's backstory you can find about Hashiko, but Hashiko is very much not related to Val. Ah, come on. We just drew it. What are you doing? So I forget what these are. Team sponsorship Jeeves, I think. And we know hard-hitting news in hand. So we don't have to. Oh, wow, that's good. That's so good. A class act. Man, just put all the good cards together. I think we'll just take Liberated. We can just sit back this turn. We know they have the hard-hitting news. And I think we can sit back and we can throw this out. And then we have the ability to run R&D. So they're running Jeeves. We know enough HB cards. So triple Maryland, triple team sponsorship. That's probably enough. They might be on MCA austerity. If they're austerity, being able to run this remote is very important. Mining accident also would be sweet. So I think we're going to I've had worse here. Card at the bottom of the stack. Wow, so much money. Too much money. Oh, this has to be successful. I totally forget about that. So run server 6. They have 3 credits. We have access to Barrier Breaker. 3 credits. It's a tour guide. Oh, fuck. We should be running Adoria. We ran Black Orchestra. That's a huge mistake. So now actually it's very good for us to trash the Maryland. Just so they don't have enough money to score an agenda. This could easily be Rashida. We lost our link here too. Okay, this is bad. But then they could, at least they couldn't res the team sponsorship if they do it. So we can pay 4 here, or we can just remove the tag. We can throw out a card, it's fine. So we can throw out, getting the Poemo down would have been sweet. We don't need this. Turning wheels, okay, we have 2 of them. Whatever. You should play Shapers to sing a runner with early game economy kind of surreal. That's strange, huh? Oh yeah, we should have laundry that. What are we doing? Yeah, Terrence, you're right. Laundry with a question mark is totally accurate. There's no reason not to laundry that. So we're getting a card draw. Stimhack, I've had worse. We'll take the I've had worse. Trashing the Jeeves with Stimhack is actually probably acceptable. Fortunately, we lose the Stargate. We're in a really bad spot because we can't recur it. We haven't seen a restricted card yet. But trashing this team sponsorship would probably be good too. So we can do this. We can dirty laundry that and stim hack this. I guess we'll do the other order. We're gonna lose some econ here for sure. Getting a bad pub like Val would have been good, but we got good card draw here. And we don't have to pay that much now that we're actually paying. Lost the gamble, that's fine. Good. And they can score 4-2. This actually could be the one that causes them to purge. I wouldn't be surprised. We could draw here once. We could also just like Stargate. I think we could just Stargate. The IPO trace, or sorry, the IP block trace is not very big. We have one link. Wow, we get one here. This is a filter card draw too, so all these are gonna go to the top. Wow, Amani Sanai Tour Guide remastered. So I think they're gonna bottom the remastered and draw the Amani. So we're just gonna get the Tour Guide out of the game. It's hard for us to deal with. Kill Jeeves? Yeah, we could have killed Jeeves there actually. It'd probably be better. I don't think we need that Stargate. MVT is restricted always for CTM. MVT isn't restricted. Poor neglected paladin. I know, but like we don't need it. Now we will. So click for Jeeves, and then they get a remaster down, which is pretty scary. Oh, AR enhanced, really good. And we trashed with Stargate, which is terrifying. This is the first time. That's really unfortunate for us. Gachapon or Gachapon? Okay. We can pop this for DreamNet, which would be kind of nice. We're in no rush to do it. We could draw here. Okay. So we can just not get our draw this turn. That's okay. Honestly, clicking that for 4 was probably a mistake. We probably wanted to play the second Liberated. Keeping money on a Liberated is actually really good against closed accounts, stuff like that, just so that you have money offloaded somewhere. And this is probably an Amani Sanai, right? I think we can Stargate just to force him to res, but beginning of turn we'll pop this up. Mining Accident, Dirty Laundry, Pad Tap, Paladin, Poemo, the Archivist. That's a full miss. No, I'd rather remove it from the game. Shovel back, Mining Accident. Archivist is really good. I guess Pad Tap? That was awful. Alright, so we can't get through that. At least we get a filter draw here. Daily Caster Gamble. Huh. This is technically 6 credits. This is 4. Man, we're just lead to remote. I guess we have to just start trashing things. Like, we want to trash this so they can't score out. We want to trash... Then we can Stargate, but this is 2 tags. Oh, man, it's hard. Let's draw once more. Okay, that's good. We need to get this in the bin. Oh, it's getting away from us. It's not good. We might actually want to draw once more to throw it out. Rashida, okay, that's bad for us. AR is scary. It's really good against Stargate. This is why Salset's also really good, right? Because you remove it from the game. But the remote we can get to. I think we should definitely be playing Adore than MK Ultra. Fuck. Okay. Haven't seen MVT so far. We have a fair bit of money. I guess we run one of these. That's fine. I guess we have to move 2 tags here. Wait, we're fucking up. Minus a 9, that's fine. So we've ran, which is good for us. We have more money than them. We could get a double draw. I don't think we really need to hit Liberated here. We'll get the double draw. Turning Wheel or Pad Tap. Turning Wheel's pretty good. It forces them to ice centrals. Oh, cool. That's exactly what we wanted. But unfortunately, it's so expensive. That's my bad. Temple, that's restricted. And it looks like they're going to res just about everything. So, again, if we have a Dore, we break this for free. I guess we just need enough virtuals, which we're close to it. Also, just running HQ here is probably pretty good. They've been filtering their hand pretty heavily, so there's not very likely to be a lot of agendas in there. But they also are shuffling with Maryland every once in a while. Ooh. Chat scroll. Alright. Click 3. Jeeves is good. Hacktivist meeting or Hippo? I think they're at the point where they can jam. Okay. So we know that's an Amani. I don't really want to play this. Playing this is fine. Playing this is fine too. We can just run HQ. They could res the Amani, so maybe playing the Hacktivist first is good. But yeah, I really don't think they have agendas in here. That just ensures that we stay in Keiko form. Or sorry, in Hashiko's form. And getting this into the bin is pretty sweet. AR is good against everything. It really is, huh? Resing the money just because they get it for free with the Mamba Temple. So there's a hacktivist value. But like, yeah, I guess we just have to get the remote. We want to stim hack the remote if we can because it gets all our breakers down. But this is way too expensive. We can't even hippo this. Fuck me. I guess we go tag me? I don't think so. They're definitely on exchange. This is more of the threat than anything else. We have to clear a tag maybe too. Kill Jeeves? Yeah, I think we have to. I don't think I'm playing this particularly well. So that doesn't get hippoed. Now this is double tour guide, which is very likely. Yeah, so this is what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, God. So Adori, I think is just better than Black Orchestra. Like, I don't think Black Orchestra deals with anything better than Adori. And Adori would eat this. Oh my god, Adori gets through this for free. I guess we need the virtual. Didn't even occur to me. Yeah, so this would have been a shitty remote. Damn, feels bad, but that's a really easy thing to fix in this deck. Like, this going from what? 3, 6, 9, 12 credits to 0 credits is just comedy. Not exactly. Jeeves will end with a tag, which is a problem. We'll just try and win. No surprise. I think they're set up to score in their remote. We have to lock centrals or we're gonna lose. Oh, it's Rashida. Okay. So they draw what? 3 cards plus 2 more, and then they bury that, and then they draw 1. So actually the mandatory draw is more likely to draw them to an agenda if they want to always bury agendas. So we might have to just go tag me and hope. Amani is annoying though, but we can always just like mill cards. Ooh, that's good. We also bounce like off against this. I don't think it's gonna be a big face check. Mining accident daily cast. I don't think the accident's gonna go through. Oh, we'll keyhole. I don't know. Stargate, excuse me. It's a wraparound. We can also bounce off of this for turning wheel. No. It's Enigma. We're gonna have no money here. We're gonna take a tag. And they have team sponsorship, which is really scary. They're also gonna shuffle their deck, so any information we get here is not that relevant. All right, they saved money. Remastered. Oh, we trashed the 3rd tour guide. Oh, and they had it. They cycled a remastered. So we'll remove the tag and then just take the money from here. They can hard hitting news us for sure. They catch on. Is it better than I've had worse? I don't think so. Oh, we didn't access a card, so we lost our link. Oh shit. Every time also we Stargate, we do get a turning wheel counter. So they could spend their whole turn just burning us with tags, and we have to clear them manually. We didn't draw into... actually, Gachapon is cool, because we could have drawn into our No One Home, which we haven't drawn, and that's going to be a problem. Sponsorship? Oh, free res. Okay. So I think it's advanced hard-hitting news. Oh, not even. Oh, yeah, we just can't get into it. Oh, 15 minutes. Okay, so what comes back? Probably the remastered. Could even be a tour guide, but I'd be super surprised. Trace Romani. Okay, we'll spend 2. It'd be kind of bad if they bounce some of our stuff. Yeah, we don't have a chance. We can't deal with this remote at all. We could consider floating tags. So here we probably want to trash Jeeves. This feels so bad. This is like what the matchup normally feels like if you're not prepared for it. And we prepared for it. I think we're playing terribly. But yeah, tour guy we just don't have an answer to. Chisel's good against this too. So we want to play this because we need money. Like, that's the problem is anytime it's only going to cost us 4 credits to get in here, but then we have to remove a tag. And when they score, they just team sponsorship whatever we pull back, and they can score this easily with Jeeves. At that point, they'll be on 4 points. They have the token, which they can use to score Beal if they're on Beal. We needed to trash these early, otherwise now there's no real point to run HQ. One of the best things we can do is just like bonk off of the wrap, which I think we'll do. Oh, sorry. Oh, we can always jack out here. Doesn't really matter what we do. So ironically, Apex would actually be okay right now. Yeah, right? End the run. Actually, it's hard. The Enigma's hard. This is the wrong run. We wanted to run R&D, but we can always just jack out here. I'm going to jack out. Yeah, so this is probably my bad virtual tour. Price sec, but we just want to get, like, you can always jack out, right? So there we go. That's just to get a counter here. I misclicked. We could have just bonked off of this. Yeah, Apex does get screwed by the Enigma for sure. Now their economy, actually a lot of it was like, this patch app's been clicking. They haven't been spending a lot for ice. Or ice has been pretty cheap, but like Jeeves, a lot of times they've just been clicking 3, installing. All right, what's coming back? Probably Rashida. Tour guide on R&D means we lose. We have to keep boosting this shit too. Man, Amani's good. Otherwise, they bounce our turning wheel. From hand, okay. So if this is a 5-3, they can do a triple advance and then remastered edition, and we lose the game. I think we're gonna go for an actual axis here. We probably could have just clicked that one fewer time and run R&D, but like we're so far behind anyways. Oh, it's a Rashida. Okay, that's fine. Oh, no. No thanks. This is the point where we definitely could go tag me. We're so far behind actually. We should go tag me. The thing is like hippoing this actually isn't good, so yeah, it's not worth it. Alright, 3 cards. It's a DBS, fine. It's a American campaign. It's a CSR campaign. Alright, some campaigns. Okay. And they're gonna draw through that really heavily with Rashida anyways. That was shut out by tour guide. One of these on R&D will be final now. Yeah, I can't believe they haven't done that, right? Like they went for the Rashida. I would just put the tour guide on R&D. We would break it once and hippo it, but like, yeah, we can't deal with this at all. I wasn't expecting this. I forgot that this was really a thing. But yeah, you just play a Dory, and then this remote is like so cheap. We were talking about this on our Slack thing, but like, would you ever play Black Orchestra? Or sorry, MK Ultra over a Dory? I don't think so. Like, I don't think there's any reason besides obviously installing from archives is kind of sweet. Maybe if you're playing moshing, but I really don't think so. All right, so they can score a Beal out here and then do a trace. They did just shuffle their deck, which is kind of a big deal. Oh no, they didn't. New remote, whatever. Maybe in max? Yeah, maybe in max. I think that's true. All right, install. If they had an agenda, they should just jam it in here, so I don't know why I'm running. Oh, well, there's the agenda. I'll take the Stimac. Thank you. More stuff to rest to make the tour guides better. We'll run R&D. I do like this class act. So now we can go full tag me, because like we're gonna lose the game. I play MK over Odori and APOC builds. Yeah, APOC builds, I get it. It's also weird because I've been playing for years using only Brood Breaker, so I need to fix my habits. I hate spending clicks to install. Yeah, right? Odori is also not expensive to install, right? Remastered. Damn, we're good. What are they bouncing? Hey, Andre, didn't they add a feature to turning wheel to allow you to place counters on without needing to run? Essentially bounce feature? That's news to me. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you, Sarknar. Didn't know. That's so good. Trace 4. Fuck it. Yeah. It's good to keep this guy around. Woo! We can win this one, right? No, it's not very likely. So they hard hitting news this here, probably. So going tag me is okay. Pog, yeah, right? 7 points on 1 turn. That's the thing, is like they've been daily business showing so much that like their deck probably has a lot of agendas in it. Now they're just at the point. I guess they did shuffle once with Maryland, and I'm assuming this is like Maryland. Oh, it's CSR Maryland. But we lose very quickly to a lot of things. They can fast advance most things, and they can be drawing a lot. We also could just like run HQ. I think we just like run HQ a bunch of times, hit the MVT, get a bunch of tank counters, get a bunch of accesses. The only issue is like this Amani is actually like fucking our day up because we can't build turning wheel tokens and access agendas. So the best here is, okay, so, oh, they had it. Yeah, good game. Yeah, oh, Beal, yeah, they didn't even need to rerun 5-3s. Poof. Yeah, I was thinking if they do a 5-3, they could win. But of course, Beal, the natural 5-3. Anakem Class Act is pretty fun too. I haven't played Anakem yet. I want to play, what's it called? More Run Criminal. Yeah, we play Adori. Like, this server costs us nothing. So what's left in our deck? So we wanted to draw into our Archivist, which would have been sweet. No and Home, which honestly didn't matter in this matchup because they didn't throw the book at us just because the remote was so good. And then, yeah, DreamNet was really good. Yeah, that server is really easy. Oh, it's all good. I was shocked you didn't team spawn the tour guide on R&D. That would have been GG. 3-point BL. Yeah, so that was always an option. This one really trash. They got that on R&D. Like the amount of subroutines on here is crazy. We could have to break it once. Like maybe we could stim hack it and then hippo it, but like I think it's worth. Cool. Well, hey, that's how you win against CTM, am I right? I don't think we played that particularly well. I do think obviously the Dory is like the biggest change, and I don't think I'll play Blackheart, MK Ultra, or anything else. Oof, oof. Tour guide is another reason I'm having fun with Sunny. Yeah, Sunny can deal with it. Obviously, you can security nexuses or her GS, whatever it's Strike or Striker. I never remember which one's which. Gets through it for 2 credits, which is pretty good. But look at, hey, Adori's in faction. Adori's really great. You can always chisel it. Man, low strength ice. See you on Twitch. Cheers. So anyways, I think the point is that we have a game night kit on this Saturday. I don't know what to play specifically. I think CTM is really good, but I'm worried because so much of the conversation we've been having in Montreal is like people are going to be teched against it. So you're going to run into those like Freedom Kamalos that can tear it apart. Did they shut down JNet? Why is there 1 game? Yo, that's rough. But that's largely it. Sorry if you tuned in and you're like, fuck CTM. We really haven't stuck on 1 point for a long time in a single episode. Normally we bounce around a fair bit, but I thought that was interesting at least. I think that deck is really strong. I think you can tech against it. I think we didn't really prove that point at all, but we played against a different one, right? That's interesting. Play a Dory, right? I tried this one. Hey, glad you liked it, Rob. I wish I was more prepared. Like I wanted to come in originally and kind of do like we did a video where we do multiple slides and go through things like faction by faction and talk about it. I think the bigger conversation is not so much the tech cards, and like this can't be under like I think actually this is a problem that I think, and a problem that I actually might be perpetrating, if that's the right word, is that like the amount of tech cards you have in your deck, there's only certain instances where not having the right tech card will cost you the game. I think False Lead is getting to that point, but it's like, I think the closest I remember strongly of that point is back when CI decks were doing that brain rewiring combo and people were playing weird shit at Worlds to not lose. And shout out to Gregory's, whatever Apex's console is called, right? Talking about strategy versus a popular meta deck is good content. Hey, glad. Perpetuating, thank you. That's right. Thanks, John. I'm glad you dig it. But I think one of the biggest deals is not so much having the right cards in your deck, having a good economy is good, but also playing around the deck longer. Playing around the deck properly. I don't think we played that game pretty well. Like I think trashing the daily business shows was the only way we were ever gonna win, considering HQ was not well protected. The less interactive the win con, the more important the tech is. Exactly, yeah. And I feel like False Lead is not particularly interactive. But yeah, playing against CTM is something you could spend hours and hours and hours. And there's a lot of content. I guess you have to like look up CTM gameplays. A lot of people do it, but it's just such a wild deck. It's really fun to watch at a competitive level because it's always this dance between like this edge of their credits matter and their breakers, and it's all about the remote and about the assets and the centrals. Like it does all of it really well, and I think it's really fun to watch. And I think the good games to play to watch are really good. Maybe check out 2018 Worlds on Dodge Pong. Some good stuff up there. Anyways, so don't get too hung up on having the right deck. That's something I worry about too much when I go to events. The GMK on Saturday. Hopefully we'll see you there. It starts at noon. I think David set it up wrong on Facebook, so it starts at midnight and goes to 6 a.m. We'll be back next week. Pat might be here next week. I haven't asked him about that yet, but that sounds like on schedule. So hopefully we can do that. Thanks to everyone just hanging out in chat. Everybody we played games against, thank you so much. Those who are watching the VOD, I gotta get back to those YouTube comments I didn't answer this week, but we'll see you next week, hopefully. Take care.